Andreas Athanasiou, they can get another goal scorer in there, a guy that they can really count on the power play and just 5-on-5, who really can score some goals. That would really help this team out in so many ways, especially on special teams too, because that power play needs to get better.
The other thing too is I think as you're a year older, you know what the tournament's all about here, and you also know that you're 1 year older, more experienced, and I think it gets a little bit easier as far as you don't know what to expect when you come in here in your first prospects tournament. And then after a year, you go, oh, okay, I went through that. I know what it's all about. I know what the training regimen is. I know how to prepare myself. Same thing with Zadina being a 1 year pro. You know, he understands now what it's going to take to be the best that he can be every time he goes out onto the ice and what it's going to take for him to make the team. Because last year, I think he thought he was going to make the Red Wing team. But it's a humbling experience. So he had to learn 1 year in Grand Rapids, and now he knows what it takes and what he needs to do to make the club.
Interesting about him, if you look at his score sheet from last season, he's either scoring goals in bunches or he's not scoring at all, which I think is kind of a good sign because he has shown that he has the ability to score. I mean, he went into some droughts, but when he scored 2 goals here, you know, game maybe he didn't get a goal, then 2 goals there, you know, so he does have the ability. And I'm with Ken here. Where is he now? We're talking about somebody who's, you know, we say, well, now he's a year older. He's still 19 years old, but you know, but this is, everyone's impatient these days, and you know, certainly, no one's more impatient than I think Phillip Zadina to get out there and make this Red Wing team. So I expect he's going to have if he has the preseason that he thinks he's going to have, there's no reason he shouldn't be on October 5th. He should not be in the Red Wing lineup in Nashville.
Let's talk a little bit about one of his buddies that also played in Grand Rapids, Joe Veleno. We saw a lot of him at development camp. We didn't get to see him up with the Red Wings at all last season besides preseason, right? He was with us. What do you think his chances are, and what do you think he needs to prove here at development camp?
I know the coaching staff met with him after last year's tournament here, and they said, listen, go back, be the best player that you can be on your team and in the league. And exactly that's what he did. He was one of the best players in that Quebec league, and he was putting up numbers that were unbelievable. So he did what he had to do, and the coaches love that. They love telling players. I remember when Tyler Bertuzzi a couple of years ago, coaching staff said, listen, we want you to go back home and we want you to work out in the summer on your strength. And he did, and look at the results he had last year with the Red Wings. So they're very happy with Joe Veleno and his development so far. It's a process, and if he continues to play well and improve, he's going to be on this Red Wing team, and I think he's going to be a solid player for years to come.
He is a sponge. He worked exclusively with Sean Horkoff and Dan Clary too, both of them who are in player development, and everything that they told him to work on, he worked on and got better and better and better. He wanted to become a 200-foot player last year. He wanted to be able to play both ends of the ice. Not only did he play both ends of the ice, he excelled at it. He had 104 points. He was up for Player of the Year in the Quebec League. He was 4th in scoring. But the thing that I thought was really impressive, because, you know, especially the Quebec League, it's run and gun. You know, plus minus he was a plus 65 last year.
Yep.
Plus 65 is extraordinary, and that's all you need to know about Joe Veleno. I mean, I'm obviously a big fan of his. He's one of our bloggers. I think he's going to be fine. So I wouldn't be surprised, and this is where it's going to be interesting to see how Steve maneuvers this roster a little bit, is that if these guys are coming on, I mean, we know Steve's competitive. He wants to win. I mean, how he's going to size this roster if some of these kids look like they might be ready right now.
Let's talk a little bit about 2 more of our prospects that we did get to see on the Red Wings last 10 games or so. Ryan Kuffner, Taro Hirose, both signees from college. Taro Hirose from MSU, Ryan Kuffner from Princeton. Taro Hirose came out and he kind of lit things up. We were pretty impressed with him. He started his first 5 games with a point. He had an assist in all of those games. What do you think, in his perspective, he needs to do? What is he expecting to do in this development camp, and what is he here to prove, since he's already had, you know, that kind of stint in the NHL?
Daniela, we always hear about confidence, and I know that word's overused a lot, but you have to feel that Taro Hirose has a load of confidence, especially after coming in. You mentioned that he had all those points, a point streak, and he's productive, and that's good. The puck seems to follow him. He seems to be in the right places. He's smart. He understands the game. Knows how to get in spots along the ice and make things happen. He's creative. So I think that helps him out a lot. And now now that he knows that he can compete and be productive in the National Hockey League, he's just got to work at different small things to make his game better. Ryan Kuffner, on the other hand, he's got a terrific shot, and we saw that shot at the development camp. And to everybody that was watching, we know that he can shoot the puck. Had some hard luck in his games that he played last year with the Red Wings down the stretch run. But I think that if he goes down to Grand Rapids and can improve upon where to get in the certain positions to score goals, because he is a goal scorer. You know, he led his college team in all-time goals. So I think he's got a great shot. If he understands how to beat goaltenders, get in the right position, then good things are going to happen with him.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Taro Hirose, but I think he was more of the rare case. Most people don't come into the NHL and find a groove like that right away. So I'm excited to see what Ryan Kuffner brings to the table in the future.
Well, I think the important thing here, and I think that this is a trend that you're going to find, and and I don't want to get into junior hockey as opposed to college hockey, but Hirose and Kuffner are 23 years old. I mean, they were older. They were more physically mature. And even though, I know all you 18-year-olds out there that are listening to us think, oh, yeah, I'm a man. Yeah, look at yourself.
Call them out, Art. Call them out.
Take a picture of yourself at 18 and then take another one when you turn 23. It's different. So I think if you look at it that way, they should be, emotionally, they're there. And physically, they're there. Now again, how does it translate? I know that's my word today, but in Hirose's case, two development camps ago, not last one, but he was going to go back to Michigan State because he wanted to get his degree, and he finished up in a great piece on DetroitRedWings.com. They went back to MSU. Carly went back with them, and chronicled that whole thing. I think that Hirose. What the Red Wing veterans raved about him was the fact is that he anticipates the game very well, and he's a great passer. And and that they were amazed at some of the plays that he would make, and little saucer passes or feather passes. So he has that game down.
Yeah.
Kuffner again has to be able to score goals. I mean, that's what he is. He's Princeton's all-time leading goal scorer. And I thought it was good, and I asked him after at development camp, remember when he scored, we were all so happy for him? I don't care, development camp or what, he needed to score a goal.
Yeah, and confidence was our word then. We needed him to build some confidence.
That's exactly. Yeah. So I think he's pretty confident right now. And, hey, Princeton, I mean, let's face it, that's Ivy League, so he's a pretty smart kid.
Another guy I wanted to touch on, they're going to be out on the ice real soon, so let's get some quick thoughts on this. Giovanni Smith, he was also not at development camp, kind of like Phillip Zadina, but he didn't choose to attend, so we haven't seen him play in a while. How important is this camp for him?
Well, it's all or nothing, I think.
Yep.
And he's a player that worked on his skating, and he was taking a lot of penalty minutes. He kind of worked on that too. But the thing about him is every team needs a player like him. Not everyone's a goal scorer. Not everyone's a different type of player. He's a role player, and he provides a role of toughness, a guy that can, go into the corners and dig and work after the puck and bring that toughness along to the team. And, this is an important prospects tournament for him. I believe this is his third one, if not fourth. And he's getting up in age, and, sooner or later, management has to make a decision on what direction they want to go with Giovanni Smith.
He knows he's a project.
Right.
He understands where he's at. He had a tough transitional year last year, his first year pro. He was traded to Kitchener his final year of junior and had an outstanding playoff run, I think 16 points in 16 games. It's there. The talent is there. And I think that in Giovanni's case, he's away from home for the first time, and he's in Grand Rapids. He doesn't know what's going on. I mean, he'll tell you, again, he's one of our bloggers. So, I've got to know him pretty well. And he came on at the end of last year. He had exit meetings with the Griffins and with the Red Wings, and they both told him, continue progressing, and there will be a spot for you. I mean, he's a physical specimen. He doesn't back down from anybody, and he does have talent. I mean, he believes that he can be a top 6 power forward, maybe top 9, but he can definitely contribute to this team. So, again, I think that mentally he is in a good spot because he understands exactly where he is, but Ken is hit it right on the head. He has to elevate. Last year, okay, first year pro, we'll let you get your feet wet and get settle in. Once he did settle in, he started to put up some points. He started to play better, but now this is the year where he has to dominate.
All right, guys, so for teams getting out on the ice now, last thing, I want us each to pick a player to watch tonight. So who are you ultimately excited to watch throughout this tournament, Ken?
Well, for the Chicago Blackhawks, we didn't talk about him in our little pregame talk here, but Adam Boqvist.
Yep.
He was drafted a couple of years ago, first-round draft choice with the Chicago Blackhawks. They need defensemen because guys like Seabrook and Keith are getting a little bit up in age, so he's their future back there on the blue line. He's wearing number 27. I'm going to keep an eye on him. And, of course, Mo Seider. I just want to see him perform, and I really want to see him play in all different types of situations, and I really want to see his overall defensive game.
All right,
for me,
real
it's
quick.
Gustav Lindstrom. I mean, the Red Wings traded. They took him at 38th overall. He's going to play in North America. He seems to be a bit of a quick study. I mean, if he's a guy that they can really catch a break on, then it's going to be pretty darn good.
All right, guys, I'm going to give you mine when we get back, but for now I'm going to throw it to the PA announcer, and we're going to go with the national anthem and starting lineups. All right, guys, now I'm going to give you my player to watch. Mo Seider on the Red Wings for you, Gustav Lindstrom for you, and I'm going to go with kind of the other obvious choice. I'm really looking forward to see Phillip Zadina, and I think I can make that true for all of Prospects Tournament, training camp, and probably even preseason, because I'm really watching to see what we talked about earlier, how he handles the adversity and how, if he does make the team or not.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think if you're a Red Wings fan, I want to see each and every one of these guys out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's jobs available. I mean, I want to see what exactly they have and how this is going to shake out. Alec Regula, who could not play in development camp too, and hurt himself with working out, and he did. I want to see what he does as well, because he's a big kid. Red Wings have to make a decision on him. I think they're going to sign him at the end of this year after he plays for London again in the OHL. But so there's a lot of intriguing storylines on this Red Wings squad.
Well, guys, here we go.
All right, we're ready to go, and this game between the Red Wings and the Hawks are underway. Mo Seider, we were talking about him, plays that puck along the right wing boards. Zadina has it, chipped it up the right side. Here's Joe Veleno with a burst of speed over the line, pokes it into the corner, goes after it. He's bumped it along the end boards right there by Dennis Gilbert, Chicago defenseman. In behind the goal, it's scooped up and now along the near wing. It comes back to Mo Seider at the left point. Skates away from traffic. That's McKay there defending. Got it to Hirose from the line with a shot. It's blocked. Gilbert comes away with it, drops it back. And now Boqvist swings it out to center ice, and the Hawks get out of trouble in their own zone. So a good start by the top two lines here in the first period. No score. Seider deflects it out to center ice. Soderlund for the Hawks drops it back. Now it's swept in along the far boards. Little bump by Giovanni Smith on his man. Puck is chipped by Chris up the right wing. It's stolen by Detroit. Kuffner tripped up. Penalty coming up right here. And the Hawks are going to get the gate. It's the puck lays down the ice and going after it for Detroit. That's Dastu, and he'll swing it across. Red Wings pull the goaltender for the extra attacker because of the delayed minor penalty coming up to Chicago. No score opening period. Here's a stretch pass out to center. Up across the line, McLeod dropping it back left point, shot blocked. Red Wings still control down low, back in behind the goal, Giovanni Smith. Smith checked in along the boards. It's poked around near side, finally touched there by Michael Tepley of Chicago, and the Red Wings will go on the first power play. Played a minute and a half of the opening period.
And it was Red Wings have been controlling the puck, like what we see so far, able to draw a penalty. A couple of guys wearing letters. Hirose has an A on, and Giovanni Smith has an A on for the Red Wings here. I have not seen anyone wearing the C there, Ken.
All right, let's set up this Red Wing power play. We got Smith out there with Hirose and Veleno up front. Zadina's playing the right point, Art, and Seider on the left point. Here's Zadina, the most Seider. Skates over, middle of the blue line. Left circle feed. Hirose with a shot, knocked down out in front of the goal.
Oh.
The rebound just skipped away from Phillip Zadina. Seider swings it across the line. Hirose, Veleno to Hirose, fired a shot out in front, trying to redirect Smith, going after the puck in the corner. Smith turns it up the right wing, comes back in the line of Seider, pivots away from traffic to swing it across to Zadina. Nice feed pass. Veleno with a feed out in front off the stick of Smith into the corner. That is Moberg defending for the Blackhawks. He is wearing number 62 out there as the puck comes to Seider at the line. Back to the left circle it comes. Back to Seider, now to the right circle. Zadina with a shot, and the save is made by the goaltender Gravel. As the puck goes along the near wing, Zadina, it's all Detroit. Power move in front. Smith trying to jam it out in front of the goal. The puck is cleared away into the corner. Zadina checked in along the boards. Here's Seider holding it in. All Detroit on the power play. Screen shot. Gravel to save. And the rebound skips into the corner. All Detroit right here. Seider to the left circle. Taro Hirose. Now to Veleno. Veleno hanging onto the puck. Comes back to Seider. Right circle feeds Zadina with a one-time shot. It was blocked. Wings hold it in. Here's Zadina with a feed across. Seider with a blast. That's blocked out in front of the goal. And finally cleared away by the Hawk defenseman down the ice. Michael Tepley fires it down, and it was all Detroit. 30 seconds to go on the power play.
They did everything but score. Great puck possession, great movement of the puck. Pretty impressive. And one thing, they like to shoot.
Kupner with a shot. He scores! Kupner with a shot from the left circle. We talked about him in the pregame show, and he gives Detroit a 1-0 lead on the power play goal.
Well, the word was confidence, right? That's got to give him a little confidence booster to be the first score in this hockey game.
And I would imagine that Princeton alumnus.
Like that word, Art.
Brooke Shields is probably pretty happy that Kupner scored.
And again, he's the kind of guy that can light the lamp. That's his bread and butter, and he had a nice shot from the left side that beat Gravel.
And it's nice to see, too. I mean, he works hard and didn't quite get the accolades Hirose did when they both played 10 games for the Red Wings last year. So it's good to see him get on the scoreboard. I think the Red Wings have been pretty impressive so far. They've really possessed the puck. They're taking it to Chicago, and the Blackhawks a little bit on their heels right now.
That power play was something else. The Red Wings held it in for almost a minute and a half in that Chicago end with a man advantage. All right, 1-0 Detroit. Gustav Lindstrom swings it across, and the Wings will pick it up. Dastu swings it across. Now he comes out to center. Dastu for Detroit. Laughlin looking him. Goes into the corner. Now McKay goes after it. Played it up the boards, out to center ice. Gustav Lindstrom drills that puck back in behind the goal. And it's an interesting camp, or actually a tournament for Gustav Lindstrom wearing number 28. Kind of guy that everyone's looking at as far as the Red Wings needing some help on the blue line.
Right, certainly. He's a prime candidate. I mean, they 2017 draft or 18 draft, I believe. He was taken 38th overall in the second round. Surprised many.
Kirby Dock going in and poked off the puck by the Red Wing defense. Pass out to center, and that's off the stick of Casey into the Chicago zone. Gilbert after the puck, and he's bumped in along the boards there by Elmer Soderblom of Detroit. Hagel out at center, drops it to the trailer. Up across the line. That's Boquist. Now the puck swings free, and up the right side, Mo Seider with a burst of speed. Dropping it back, Smith with a shot, and it's gloved off by Gravel. He's the goaltender for the Chicago Blackhawks. We got 16:02 to go, first period. Ryan Kuffner with the lone goal, giving Detroit a 1-0 lead.
I'll tell you, early returns on Mo Sider right now. Likes to shoot and possesses good puck possession and can skate.
Well, the Red Wings have controlled most of the action here in the opening period. 6 shots by Detroit, most of them coming on the power play, and the Blackhawks looking for their first power play or their first shot on goal. Kurashev in behind the goal, headed taken away. Sider at the blue line, sweeps it across. Shot by Regula, stopped out in front. Turnaround shot by McLeod, and that's off a skate into the corner. Kuffner to pick it up. Kuffner with traffic being bothered there by Kurashev. Got it back in behind the goal. Smith battling for it right there, along with Ramsey of Chicago along the far boards. Now it's swung back along the wing. That's Regula trying to jam it loose. Coming away with a puck though. Soderlund moves it forward out to center ice. Slater converging on his man, and now the Wings settle it down. Hirose up the left wing, moves away. Fires the puck into the Chicago zone. Joe Veleno is on the ice. Outlets it in the high slot, broken up, and McLaughlin back for the Hawks. With Entwistle, a little drop feed to Chris. Chris moves in with a backhand, and Fulcher made the save and go for Detroit. McLaughlin with a shot. That's blocked by the Wings defense. So the Hawks with their first good opportunity here in the opening period, 1-0 Detroit.
And Fulcher came up big. Good to see.
Here's a shot in front, and they score. A pass out in front, and Michael Hakkarainen with the goal to tie it up 1-1.
Oh, that's just a nice play. Wide open. Fulcher really couldn't do anything about it. It was just bang, bang right in front of the net.
Hakkarainen just picked the corner of the net off the inside of the left goal post, beating Fulcher. And just like that, the game is tied. 2 shots on goal by the Hawks, 7 for the Red Wings here in the opening period. So the faceoff comes out to center ice. Got Pearson out there for Detroit with Lucas Savages. And the other forward for Detroit is Troy Loggins. Kuffner scoring for Detroit, and Hakkarainen for the Blackhawks. Loggins past the Lucas Savages. He stumbled a little bit, couldn't get the shot away. Coughlin kicked it forward. Red Wings hustle to hold it in. Pass right circle. Loggins with a wrist shot, and Gravel came up with a save. He knocked it away with his arm. Adam Boquist out to center. Coughlin, feed pass right wing, over the line, Purbu. His shot ends up in the left corner. It's deep in the Red Wing zone. Now McRae picking it up for Detroit. Lays it up the left wing out to center ice. Lucas Savages works in on Boquist. Now he's hammered it along the far boards. Chris came in there with a body check on him. Hawks steer over the line. Here's McKay flying left wing with a shot, and Fulcher comes up with a save for Detroit. Back quickly comes Detroit. Up. Soderbaum across the line, past the Lindstrom with a wrist shot as he moved into the high slot, and that one was blocked, but a nice read by Gustav Lindstrom.
Right, without question, yeah. He knew exactly what to do, where he wanted to go with it. Unfortunately, nice play by the Chicago defenseman.
12.5 to go, first period. Game is tied, 1-1. Kuffner opened the scoring for Detroit. And Hakkarainen, the goal for the Blackhawks. Now feed pass breaking in. Here's Doc moving in, and he tried to score. He does. He put a move on Fulcher, and on a good play, and that's his creativity. Kirby Doc gives the Hawks a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, you can tell why he's picked third overall right there. That was just a beautiful play. Got behind the Detroit defenseman and made no mistake about it. Deke Fulcher, and it kind of looked like the old Peter Forsberg move almost, where he deked him and he was down and had a wide open side of the net and just kind of slid it home.
I was amazed at how he was able to get behind the Red Wing defense that time. He controlled the pass and then finished off the play on a nice, beautiful goal.
Right, it was impressive. I mean, he just sort of slipped through. You could see, we could see it developing here, but just good hockey sense, obviously.
So the Hawks weathered the storm that the Red Wings came out on fire here, and 2 quick goals by Chicago. They have that 2-1 lead. Soderlund along the far wing. Chris tapping it to the blue line. McLeod holds it in. Bounced it off to the side of the Chicago net. Giovanni Smith goes after the puck in the right corner. Swings it towards the high slot. Broken up. Soderlund up the right wing boards. Carries into the Detroit zone. Drops it. Centering attempt broken up. And now turning with it for Detroit That is Regula as the tall defenseman brings it out to center. 2-1 Blackhawks. First period, Regula shoots it in, and the line change for Detroit. Valeno is out there right now with Hirose.
And Zadina.
Zadina, the puck is down into the corner of the Red Wing zone. Tipped up the boards. Hirose didn't clear it out. Boquist holds it in. Valeno jammed it up the wing, out to center ice. Pivots away from traffic. Now turns back up the left side into the Blackhawk zone, dropping it back to Hirose. Intended for Zadina with a feed off a stick of a Blackhawk player into the corner. McLaughlin turning with it for the Hawks, moves it up the left side. Now McLaughlin gets it from Hakkarainen. Up across the Red Wing line, McLaughlin backhands the puck around the boards. Gilbert in deep, takes a bumping along the wing by Hirose from the line. A shot by Entwistle from long range, and the save made with the glove by the Red Wing netminder, Caden Fulcher.
One thing I like about Phillip Zadina thus far, he's always ready to shoot when he gets that puck. He's always looking to put the puck on net and fire it. That's something that last year I think he was pressing a little bit. Looks a little bit more comfortable out there. And also Chase Pearson, who was a 2-year captain at the University of Maine, was signed by the Red Wings, will play in Grand Rapids this year, is also wearing an A. So it seems that some of the veteran guys are wearing the A's for the Red Wings in this game.
One of the questions I have, Art, is, will the Red Wings name a captain this year? I mean, I know it's been talked about, and we just don't know.
Well, if it isn't Dylan Larkin, then they're not going to name a captain, I guess.
Well, are they going to name him this year? Are they going to wait a little bit? That's the question, right?
Why wait? Why wait? I mean, he led your team in virtually every offensive category last year, including penalties. Maybe he wants to clean that up a little bit, but aside from that, I know the time is now. Put the C on him and just let him lead this team. He's capable of doing it. I think we all know. I mean, he might only be 23 years old, but wise beyond his years.
I think he learned a lot from Cronwall and Abdelkader. Those were the two players that kind of were not the captain, but what the coaching staff needed something from the players. They always talked to Cronwall and Abdelkader as well.
I'd go as far as to say if everyone knew that Nick was going to be able to last like he did, maybe they would have put the C on him. But we just didn't know because of that knee problem. But eventually, unfortunately, caught up with him.
In case you're just tuning in, it's 2-1 in favor of Chicago. Kuppner opened the scoring for Detroit, and then the Hawks got goals by Hakkarainen and also Kirby Dock. Halfway through the first, 8 shots by Detroit, 5 for Chicago. Hawks play that puck into the corner in the Detroit zone. Johnson after it for the Hawks, bumped in along the boards by Dastu. They still jam away at the puck. It's deep in the Detroit zone at the moment. In there trying to jam it away. Red Wings can't get it out from the right side. A snap shot blocked in front by Dastu. Laughlin battling for position with Lindstrom, and finally the Wings clear it out to center.
Lindstrom not backing down, though, showed a little bit of a physical game. He does have a little bit of an edge to his game, which I know the Red Wings like.
I like how the Red Wings are breaking out of their own zone. Here's Mo Sider going coast to coast like buttered toast, trying to jam it home Soderberg.
Whoa.
And that one was stopped and out to center ice. Here come the Hawks back the other way. McKay into the corner. Regula with a bump on his man as they battle for it. Casey out there for Detroit. Soderblom as well. And now the Red Wing player Regula finds his man out at center ice. That's Kuppner. Following up on the play. Casey dumped it up across the line. Sider knocked down in the high slot, and the Hawks will converge on it and picking it up. They'll bring it out to center ice. Kirby Dock with a nice move to get away from traffic. Full stride with a wrist shot, right side of the ice, and Fulcher made the save.
Now Sider just pushing Dock around a little bit.
What a creative play, though, by Kirby Dock there to get away from a couple of defenders.
Ken, I'm going to be the captain obvious here. Kirby Dock is good.
We expected that much, Art.
Right,
We
exactly.
expected that much.
That's right, Danielle. He definitely looked pretty good. So.
Just want to remind you that you're listening to the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament and watching as well, presented by Huntington Bank.
Huntington Bank, I passed one on the way here to the arena.
Did you deposit or take a withdrawal?
Well, after Vegas, I just don't have any funds left.
He might need a personal loan after
really.
his Vegas trip.
I'll be at Huntington Bank tomorrow morning if they're open. I'm going to probably have our good buddy Pete Scorich co-sign for me.
Here's Adam Boquist, 2-1 Chicago. His shot off the glass, and that one ends up the right wing boards and down the ice. Good time winding down here in the first period. Glad you're in tune to this broadcast from center ice. Here's Gilbert moving in 2-on-1, but lost possession of the puck. He's bothered by a couple of Red Wings there, and Giovanni Smith loses an edge and now gets up quickly as that puck moves down the ice into the Blackhawk end.
Yeah, pace of this game has been really, really fast. Of course, that's the way the game is these days.
Kurashev drops it back. A snapshot by Michael Tepley ends up along the boards. Now turning with it, Gustav Lindstrom. Tepley with a hit on him. Gastu laid it up the left wing boards. Now it's tapped out to center ice. Philip Zadina on a change, moves it over the blue line. Little drop feed right there by Lucas Savages, and that went off a Chicago stick, and the Blackhawks' Nicholas Beaudin brings it out to center ice. 2-1, Chicago with the lead as it's played out in front of the goal. Hakkarainen with a shot, and they score. Hakkarainen was there, so was Mackenzie Entwistle, but the Hawks have made it 3-1.
I'll tell you, once Chicago started to crank it up a little bit, they really haven't looked back. It's not that the Red Wings are playing poorly. I just think that Chicago's making some excellent plays. Great passing, and guys are burying the puck.
Yep, that was a shot from right out in front of the goal that beat Fulcher.
Well, suddenly it's all tied up in shots, 8-8. Unfortunately, Chicago's leading 3-1. But you've got to be impressed. I mean, the Blackhawks started a little bit slowly. The Red Wings carried the play, but Chicago has really picked it up.
Again, you're watching the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament presented by Huntington Bank. 3-1 in favor of Chicago. Kuffner opened the scoring for Detroit, and then 3 straight goals by the Blackhawks. Icing call coming up against the Red Wings. Both teams now with 8 shots on goal. Boy, the Red Wings really controlled the first 4 minutes of this hockey game. They had a power play, got the power play goal from Kuffner.
And this is what, we talked about it in the pregame about compete level, and you've got to give the Blackhawks credit because, they did not, obviously it's early, but they didn't, they started to compete harder and harder and harder, and, they've been, not by much, but they have been the better team the last couple of minutes.
Entwistle got credit for that goal to make it 3-1. 12 minutes, 34 seconds, the time of the goal by Entwistle. Now the Red Wings have to get back into it now. They've got Joe Veleno out there on the ice with Zadina and Taro Hirose. See what they can do.
This is their number one line.
Right now Coughlin picks it up. The Red Wings bottled up in their own end. Boquist to Gilbert, back to Boquist. Hawks controlling play in the high slot. Johnson backhand try, wide to the far side of the goal. Now Mo Sider picking it up for Detroit. Squeezed it up the left wing to Hirose. He'll chip it off the boards and out the center. Gilbert back to play it for the Hawks.
It's a nice move by Sider to get the puck out of his own end.
Chicago with a 3-1 lead along with Art Regner, Daniela Bruce. I'm Ken Kell. Glad you're in tune on this Friday night. Red Wings and the Blackhawks doing battle from Traverse City in the Prospects Tournament. Puck out in front of the Red Wing goal, and now Berglund will pick it up. He's got some speed, works his way out the center, and flips it into the Blackhawks zone. He's another player that I'm interested in watching here in the tournament, Berglund.
And what's interesting is because his Swedish team gave him permission to come over and play in this Prospects Tournament. Then he has to go back to Sweden. Him and Soderblom is the same thing. Usually, guys in the Swedish league can only go to development camp, but those two gentlemen were given permission by their Swedish team to participate in this tournament, and it's a good experience for them.
I think it's good for the Red Wing management too to get a good up close and personal look at see how he can perform at this level. As the puck is out in front and they score. Whoa, that shot was taken from the left side and it beat Fulcher, and all of a sudden 4-1 Chicago.
Yeah, this is. The way the game started, I don't think we saw this coming. So Red Wings certainly going to have to regroup right now. And we talked about it again, that compete level. Let's see exactly where they're at. This is a little bit of adversity early for this Red Wing Prospects team.
You know, Art, you never want to see them down this much, but how do they respond? I think that is a great question and a chance for them to kind of prove themselves.
Right, certainly. I mean, you know, there's a lot of hockey still to be played in this game.
That was kind of a strange goal in the fact that it came from long range along the boards and a lot of traffic out in front. Don't know if it hit a body and went in.
Right. I think that, again, giving the Blackhawks credit, they've been getting bodies in front of the net. I mean, Fulcher has not made real easy saves. He's not seeing the puck.
That's two with a shot. Here's a chance out in front by Yetman, and the save made by Gravel. Lindstrom holds it in. Gustav Lindstrom swings it across. Das 2. Cross ice feed, right circle. Yetman steers it in behind the Blackhawk goal. Soderblom, his check goes down. So does Yetman. Hawks come away with a puck along the far wing. Kurashev. Now it's sent across. Kurashev lost it, and Smith to fire it in.
That was a good shift by the Red Wing fourth line there. Some energy, and they kept the puck in Chicago's end, and you know, Giovanni Smith now is out there, and if they can get it cranking, the Red Wings are going to have to find something and respond now to this 4-goal outburst by the Blackhawks.
Well, you almost have to think that the next goal is big for the Red Wings. They got to get that next one here. They're down by 3. Shot from the left side by Smith, and that one sails wide of the goal. Regula hustles after it to hold it in. Now to Mo Sider, left point. Sider to Regula. Fired the shot down low. Down low, fighting for the puck. That's Kuffner. Kuffner, the lone Red Wing goal scorer. Trying to jam it up the boards. Hawk steal, play it out to center. Soderblom. Soderlund after the puck, shoots that puck into the zone. Giovanni Smith trying to knock it away, and now a penalty coming up to Detroit, and the Hawks go on the power play.
Slashing.
Again, you're watching the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament here in Traverse City at Center Ice Arena, presented by our good friends over at Huntington Bank.
Now we'll get to take a look not only at the Blackhawks power play, but we'll get to see some Red Wings penalty kill.
Yeah, then that'll be interesting too. That was a bit of an odyssey last year for the Red Wings.
Yes, it was.
So we'll see who's out there. Chase Pearson, as we said, a great leader, 2-year captain at the University of Maine, will play in Grand Rapids this year, but under contract by the Red Wings.
Boquist is on the left point, and he works it down low to Kirby Doc, pass in front. Brandon Hagel was stopped trying to float it home. The puck goes into the corner. That's Beaudin. And getting it to Boquist, to Beaudin again. Loggins in a penalty killing role for Detroit. Gustav Lindstrom back there for the Red Wings. Now the puck is played down the ice, and the Red Wings will make a change on the go. Sider comes out onto the ice with Joe Veleno. Regula in a penalty killing role. Loggins heads over to the bench, and hopping over the boards is Lukashevic's. 4-1. The Blackhawks with the lead. 2:34 to go here in the first period. Puck is in the far corner. Hagel to the blue line. Boquist left circle to Kirby Doc. Doc backpedals his way to the sideboards. In the slot, a shot wide of the goal by Hagel. And he was set up in the high slot. Red Wings pick it off. Regula clears it down the ice.
Again, that's a nice play. Chicago really clicking now. Really finding the open man.
50 seconds to go on their man advantage. They've got that 4-1 lead. 2:05 to go in the first. Here's Chris back into the power play. Shot into the corner. Battle for it. Giovanni Smith trying to dig it away for Detroit. Philip Kurashev. Now Smith stole the puck and fires it all the way down the ice to the side of Gravel, the Blackhawk netminder. Moberg picking it up behind the Blackhawk goal. 20 seconds to go on their man advantage. Both teams with 10 shots on goal here in the opening period. Tepley over the Red Wing line, eludes traffic, dropped it back as they get it set up. Here's Moberg. Now the swing pass across to Chris, left circle feed, Kurashev. Back to the blue line to Chris. Chris toes the blue line to Kurashev, left circle, toe drags the puck, got the shot away just when the penalty expires, and Caden Fulcher with the save.
Fulcher saw that one all the way, but again, good puck movement by the Blackhawks, obviously with the extra man, but still, Chicago has really, I don't know, Ken, what would you say, after about the first 5 minutes of this hockey game, have really slowly but surely taken over this game?
Well, they weathered the storm. When you think about it, they gave up an early goal to Kuffner, and then the Red Wings still had some momentum and pressure in the Blackhawks zone. They weathered the storm, and boy, they scored 3 quick goals and added a 4th one to make it 4-1. Again, you're watching the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament presented by Huntington Bank.
I wonder if Griffin's head coach and Red Wings prospects coach Ben Simon's going to be peeling paint off those walls in between the periods to motivate his team a little bit.
Hawks again. Here's a quick snapper from the right side by Johnson. Fulcher the save and goal. 49 seconds to go in the first period. Good crowd on hand here at Center Ice Arena. Good to have hockey back as well. Fans enjoying this one here up in Traverse City as Taro Hirose moves in. Drop feed. Here's Zadina with a shot. Save made by Gravel. It kind of handcuffed him a little bit. Valino pushing and shoving with his man as the play is stopped.
Yeah, well, I think, certainly, hopefully the Red Wings will play a little control, but they're getting a little bit frustrated here. I think that there's a huge crowd here tonight, and most of them dressed in red and white. And I emphasize the red and white, meaning that the Red Wings colors.
I was going to say, Chicago's got red and white too.
Chicago wears red too, so a lot of red in the building.
Yes.
Earlier action, Columbus beat the Rangers 6-2. Dallas with a 2-1 lead and win over the Minnesota Wild.
Well, I don't know what it is about the Blue Jackets, but they live for this tournament, don't they, Ken? I think they've won it more than any other team.
They won it 4 or 5 times, including last year.
Yep.
Sider from the line. Scores! Oh, they're waving it off. It was knocked down
with a high stick. I don't think so. I'd like to see replay on that.
Yeah, we need a video board, right, Art?
Really?
Well, you got to like the shot anyway,
Oh, here
right?
we go.
Pete Skorich giving us a little point here towards the monitor, and we get a good opportunity to see what happened. That's Regula, I believe, was going to get the puck. The puck was in the corner. Came back to Regula.
And they looked at it. They called it no goal, but I think it was a goal. And I'm just not saying that because
we need to get you out there in the stripes, right?
But, yeah, really. I was looking at it. One thing, you're getting old when even the officials look young.
Well, you got to like the shot by Mo Sider, though.
Puck along the boards. Loggins taking it, trying to whiff it into the zone, and the play is halted as the period comes to a close. So after the Red Wings taking that 1-0 lead on a goal by Ryan Kuffner, 4 straight goals by the Hawks, they lead 4-1.
All right, guys, we're going to throw to a quick break. Our stream presented by Huntington Bank will be right back.
And again, we welcome you back to Center Ice Arena in Traverse City, the annual Prospects Tournament. Chicago with a 4-1 lead after 20 minutes of play, and I'm pleased to be joined by former Red Wing and now the Director of Amateur Scouting for the Red Wings, Chris Draper. And Chris, welcome to the booth here, and also you got a new role. Tell the fans a little bit about what you do with the Red Wings now.
Well, thank you very much for that. Yeah, obviously got the opportunity with the changes within the organization, and talked a lot to Stevie about it, and also Pat Verbeek, and just what my role was going to be and what I wanted to do. And I've been fortunate enough, over probably the last 4 or 5 years, to do a lot of amateur scouting, to be able to work with Tyler Wright and kind of just go all over the world. And it's something that excited me. I think everyone realizes how we're going to improve, and that's obviously by drafting and developing. Stevie has talked about it, and it's something that is very important. It's something that we have to do. So, with that said, the opportunity came up, and I look forward to the challenge. And I want to be a part of this group that's going to get us back to where all Red Wing fans want us to be.
Isn't it strange, though? I know in your playing days you were a hard-working grinder on the grind line. You had a captain in Steve Yzerman. Did you ever think that one day you guys would be working together off the ice in the management position?
No, I certainly didn't. But I think as you kind of start getting to the end of your career, you kind of start wondering, okay, now what? And I was obviously very fortunate enough to stretch that out to basically till I was 40 years old. And then, like I said, Ken Holland gave me a terrific opportunity right off the hop to work with him, basically to kind of do a little of everything, a little bit of, player development, a little bit of pro scouting, amateur scouting, and in the end, I kind of gravitated towards the amateur side. So, to have the opportunity, certainly to be, Steve Yzerman's teammate was something special, and now to have the opportunity here to work with him in the front office and be a part of, like I said, getting the Red Wings back to where we want to be is something that I know is means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to Stevie, and we want to get back to where everyone wants us to be.
Tell us what it's like to be an 18-year-old player and has aspirations to be in the National Hockey League. So, case in point, you look at the youngsters who are playing here today, like Mo Sider and Veleno and all these guys. Like, what goes through their mind in a Prospects Tournament, and what do you look forward to when you see them play?
Well, first of all, for an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, whatever it might be, the one thing you want to do is you want to make a positive impression, no doubt. You want to work hard. You want to compete. You want to, you want the team to be successful. That's really what we want. We want to watch. We've watched our players. Obviously, that's why we've drafted them. They've shown us a lot of stuff that we like. We want them to go out and do what they have to do. Be the player that you are. Don't try to do something that you're not. I think that's sometimes the hard part when all of a sudden you're sitting there and you've kind of gone through a draft. You've gone through the whole summer. Now all of a sudden you really want to make that positive impression, and sometimes you try to do a little bit too much. So that was a message yesterday. Just kind of go out and play, and whatever you are, you do it. If you're a north-south and crasher and banger, go and do that. If you're a high-skilled guy, do that. Obviously, if you're a goal scorer, go out and score goals for us. So those are the things, that we want to do and what we're looking for. And, certainly, the way you represent yourself. This is a Detroit Red Wing organization. We want our young hockey players to represent the organization, with a lot of class. And for us, we want great people, great character, and players that are just going to go out and play. And obviously it's unfortunate we're down 4-1 right now, but I think these guys are going to continue to battle and dig in, and hopefully they can make a game of it. But that's really what this is about. This is a terrific opportunity for these guys. The one thing we've always told them, at 18 or 19 or even 20 years old, this is probably going to be the most competitive hockey that you played. You're playing against seven other organizations, their top prospects, their best players, and it's a real competitive tournament as the puck drops and away you go. So I think, that's really the message that's sent.
A lot of the fans, they say, well, they understand the rebuilding process with the Detroit Red Wings, and I hear a lot from the fans saying, like, well, just let the young guys play. But it's not that easy. It's not that simple, is it?
It really isn't, and that's something, it's hard. It's hard for an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old hockey player to go out and play against established hockey players night in and night out. These guys, they know what to do. They know how to train. They know how to prepare themselves. We're educating these young hockey players, and that's what we expect from them. But it's pretty funny when these young players, they think they work hard. They think they train hard. And then all of a sudden you get into a weight room and you see what a Pavel Datsyuk would do, or you would see what a Henrik Zetterberg or a Nicholas Cronwell, and all of a sudden it's a little bit of a reality check when you find out not only how hard these guys work, but how strong they are, how professional they are, and that's exactly what we want to do over the next month. This is a great opportunity in the Prospect Tournament, and for all these guys, when the NHL comes up here next week, and the Dylan Larkins and the Anthony Manthas and the Bertuzzis and the Athanasius, all those guys, then you really get a taste for what this is. And when you become an established NHL hockey player, you want to play it for as long as you can. And so every time you go home and you train in the summer, you want to come back and make sure that you get another year. That's really what you want to do. It's the greatest game to be played, and it's great being a National Hockey League player. And that's why we want to educate these young hockey players. We want them not only to become a Red Wing for a little bit, for a long time, and that's how we get better.
Chris, I know you only see one period of play here so far in the Prospects Tournament with the Red Wings and Blackhawks, but you had a chance to watch them play, some of these guys play at the development camp. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody in particular that catches your eye and you look and you go like, wow, maybe this is a guy that I didn't expect to play well, but he's playing well? Or is there a guy that you just say, wow, I really like the way he plays?
You know what? I mean, obviously everyone, I think, is excited to watch Moritz Seider play. I was fortunate enough to see him play, over in Germany. He's what you're looking for in a defenseman. Obviously, he has very good hockey sense. He sees the ice well, smooth skater, good. He can transport the puck. He's a good first pass guy. I thought Alec Regula looked good. Mm-hmm. It looks like he's gotten a little bit bigger and stronger than he was, from a couple years ago, and that just goes back to what we were just talking about. And then I think everyone's excited about, Veleno, Zadina, and obviously the Hirose line. We want to see those guys produce. They have a little of everything. He's an excellent skater. Zadina's obviously a shooter, and Hirose, a real good playmaker. So that line has a chance to create some chemistry. So I would say right now, we just kind of want to sit back and watch these guys. Obviously, Gustav Lindstrom coming over to play. So we just sit back and. I thought Berglund had a good first period. Big right-handed defenseman, smooth skating Swedish D-men. So, you just sit back and they're probably a little nervous. They know you can see the perch up there, and Steve Yzerman. The eyes are on you, and when you come into something like this, you obviously it's human nature. You put a lot of pressure on yourself. You want to do well. You want to play well. You want the team to do well. And like I said, hopefully they can bounce back and make this a hockey game.
Chris, talk a little bit about Ryan Kuffner. He scored the first Red Wing goal, and he's got a terrific shot. He led his team in college scoring throughout his career. But what's it going to take for him to perhaps be a Red Wing one day? I mean, he played 9 games last year.
Yeah. I think for Ryan, he's got to be, he's got to be real competitive. He obviously in the offensive zone, he has good offensive instincts, knows how to get open. Like you said, he can score goals. And that's something that every team is looking for. So he just has to, probably understand from going to the college game, and he did get an opportunity to play NHL hockey last year, which is a great experience for him. And he just has to realize that. It's every night, how hard it is, how fast it is, how competitive these guys are, and that's something that, for every young player, and it doesn't matter if you're coming out of college or if you're coming out of major junior, those are the adjustments that you have to make.
Are you enjoying your new position here? I know you really like competing as a player, and I would imagine you're playing next week Saturday in that little alumni game or whatever it is, but have you adjusted to life as it is, not playing hockey but being in management?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, I maxed out. I got everything out of myself that I could, and it was it was an unbelievable run to be a Red Wing for as long as I was, and now I look forward to this job. We started right after at the development camp, and then had the opportunity. I've watched some select camps and some tournaments. I was over in Slovakia for the Gretzky Holinka over there for 8 days, and those are all the top O2s that we're going to watch in the draft this year. So that was a real good experience. But we've made obviously changes in the scouting staff. I'm real excited with our staff. Bringing back Jesse Wallen, former teammate.
Old number 3.
Former teammate, and both Stevie and I played with them, and obviously won the Stanley Cup being part of the amateur scouting staff with St. Louis last year. So just, Ryan Rizmierski coming over. He lives up in Ann Arbor. He scouted for Nashville for a long time. So I think, I'm excited about the amateur staff. I think we got a great group of guys. Obviously, we have Håkan Andersson, who's, been at it for a long time for us and has found so many great players. So, for me, it's great. It's a great opportunity to work with these guys, and you know, I also understand the importance of you know, what my position is. You know, with you know, finding good young hockey players and being prepared for the draft that's going to be 2020 in Montreal. And you know, it's exciting. We're underway here. We got a chance to watch some of our, you know, high prospects right now play. It's unfortunate that Larsson's hurt and McIsaac is hurt. I think everyone was looking forward to seeing both those guys play. And then from there, you know, the main camp comes up, and after that, you know, all the you know, the CHL league start, and away we go. So it's something you know, that you know, is going to be challenging. It's going to be exciting, and you know, it's a big responsibility, and I'm excited to have the opportunity.
Chris, thanks a lot for stopping by. It's always fun talking with you, and congratulations to you on your new role with the Detroit Red Wings. And again, we'll see you throughout the course of the year.
Sounds good, Ken. Appreciate it. Always fun. Always fun.
Chris Draper, Director of Amateur Scouting. We're in the first intermission. Blackhawks with a 4-1 lead over the Red Wings. We'll be back with second period action in a moment.
Welcome back, everybody, to Center Ice Arena here in the beautiful Traverse City, Michigan. You're watching the NHL Prospect Tournament stream presented by our friends at Comerica Bank. We want to thank Chris Draper for coming on with us during that intermission. Great interview with him and Ken Kale. Always fun to hear from Chris Draper, right, Art?
Right, and he certainly, you know, he has a new position now. He's the Director of Amateur Scouting, and what's interesting is that Drapes coached his son's team, the Little Caesars team, and it's also his son's draft year, so I think Draper might have a leg up on the competition, so he should be pretty familiar with all the 18-year-olds that will be available in the 2020 draft.
You know, I got to correct myself. I said this was presented by Comerica Bank. I'm getting my shows confused. Game Day Live's presented by Comerica Bank. This stream today is presented by Huntington Bank. My bad. There's a correction there.
Huntington Bank, where they're very generous when you go for a loan.
I'm sure, Art.
Well, you know, I talked to Chris Draper there in the first intermission, and he was talking about the importance of digging in now that you're trailing 4-1. It's important to see how the Red Wings come back and try to get back into this game.
Well,
that was something we had talked about in the pregame, showing how you handle that adversity, especially as a prospect. So I think this will be a good opportunity for them.
Well, I really thought that Mo Sider played pretty well, though. I mean, he's certainly aggressive. He's not a shy hockey player, and I kind of like the fact is that Kirby Dach was starting to feel really good about himself in his game, and he skated into the Red Wings zone, and the puck was offside, or they blew a whistle on something, and Mo was going to let Doc know that, hey, this is not free territory. You've got to earn it, and started to scuffle with him a little bit. And I think that's something, especially, he might have been a little bit frustrated with the score, but that's something that you want to see. We have talked about it. You're right, Daniela. We've talked about compete level, and it'll be very important now to see what happens, where this Red Wing team is at. I mean, they've got their number one line, obviously starting out with Veleno, Zadina, and Hiroshi, Sider, and Regula. I mean, these are all high-end prospects, the five that are out on the ice for the Red Wings right now.
What's interesting, before we get going here, Mo Sider was having a little chat with his teammates. I like to see that leadership-type quality where he's trying to diagram some situations out there on the ice, and everybody was listening.
Well, he's German. They're not shy.
And, that's tough to do, though, as a young kid come in and kind of take command. So it is good to see.
I hope he wasn't talking in German to the players. Underway.
Only when he says something negative.
They'll catch on to those phrases pretty quick, too.
Exactly.
Sider worked that puck in. It's 4-1 in favor of the Blackhawks. It's rolled to the side of the goal by Joe Veleno, who takes a body check, and the goaltender, Alexis Gravel, will come up with the save. So both teams will change right now as Kupner, who is the lone Red Wing goal scorer, comes out onto the ice with McLeod and Giovanni Smith. That's the forward unit for Detroit.
Well, this is really, it's a standing room crowd tonight for this first game for the Red Wing prospects, and they were feeling pretty good early in this hockey game, and then Chicago started to find their legs. And again, I have to give the Blackhawks credit. They competed very, very hard. They went after it, and find themselves up 4-1. But now the key is what will the Red Wings do?
Well, puck goes into the corner. Giovanni Smith laid it up the wing. Fights his way to the blue line to try and hold it in, but it's Kurashev scooping it away from McLeod off the boards to the Red Wing line. Dastu, the Red Wing defenseman, got it ahead to center. Krista Tepley, and he just eluded a Lidstrom body check as he fires it in. So Lindstrom trying to soften up his man a little bit as Dastu will pick it up in his own zone, sweep it across. McLeod out at center to Kupner, spins away from a check. Trying to work it out in front of the goal. It's off a skate. Kupner has it again, and he turned it over. Nicholas Baudin didn't clear it out. A shot from the line, right side, and that one was saved by Gravel. Shooting that puck towards the goal was Alec McRae of the Red Wings, and the puck goes into the corner. Kupner tried to wheel it in front. Now Pearson circles the net, cuts hard in front, tried to jam it home, and Gravel with the save.
Just ran out of real estate a little bit there, but tried to make a move. Nice play there by Chase Pearson.
That was a nice power move from the side of the goal, right out in front as Pearson tried to score. 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a native of Georgia. He was born in Georgia.
Yeah, he's a lot of hockey players come from the Peach State. Well, of course, the home state of Ty Cobb. Greatest Tiger of them all.
You telling me his nickname now is going to be the Peach?
Yeah, I think it is. Peach Pearson. It kind of rings.
You'll have to ask him if he likes that one, Art.
And you got the Plum Man and Rasmussen, right?
Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah, he will never live that down, the Plum Man.
In case you're just tuning in, Red Wings had a 1-0 lead and 4 unanswered goals by the Hawks. They've got that 4-1 lead. 2 minutes, 10 seconds gone by second period. Moberg for the Hawks. Backhands it to the right side. Man who scored early in that first period. Hakkarainen with a shot on goal. The puck ends up along the near boards. Hawks hold it in. McLaughlin. Now Coughlin got it down low. Into the corner. Puck is steered up the right wing. Boquist. Left circle. A shot taken by Hagel. Knocked down out in front. Gilbert has it, and he'll work it down into the corner. Play is deep in the Detroit zone. The Red Wings bottled up in their own end. Here's a pass out in front, deflected to the far boards. Gilbert after it. Turns in behind the goal quickly. Laid it up the right wing wall, and it came out to center ice. And Boquist has it at his own blue line. A little feed pass ahead to Coughlin. Checked in along the near boards. Puck comes across the blue line. Gilbert slap shot way wide of the goal. And the Wings fail to clear it out. Second effort they do. Flying Casey at center. Got it over the line. Soderblom with a shot, and it was right at the goaltender Gravel, who caught it, and he will hang on. And you're watching the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament presented by Huntington Bank.
You know, Boquist looks pretty good. He was taken 8th overall in the 2018 draft when the Red Wings selected Philip Zadina. There was speculation at the time that if Zadina wasn't available, that Boquist could have ended up being a Red Wing too, but pretty impressive, anticipates the play well, and certainly makes a nice first pass.
He had 60 points for London last year in the Ontario Hockey League.
Yeah, London loaded up last year. Regula was also on that team, and they were so stacked with Evan Bouchard and Boquist on the blue line that on the power play, Regula actually saw time at center.
Wow.
And scored some power play points.
Well, he's a big body out there.
Yes, that's exactly right.
All right, the Wings come back. Right circle, a shot taken by Chad Yetman, and the whistle, the play is stopped in that Blackhawk end.
You know, really get back to Regula about that. What it shows is that he just wants to play. So, you know, they bring Boquist in, they're stacked on the blue line, and he ends up, you know, as a matter of fact, his defense partner was Bill Lahead's nephew.
Wow.
Former Red Wing who scored that great goal. Paul Woods, your broadcast partner, assisted on it over against the Atlanta Flames. Dan Bouchard in the old Atlanta Flames, now the Calgary Flames.
Actually had 2 goals in that hockey game. And
yeah.
Billy had a beautiful goal where he was behind the net actually and tucked it in.
Greatest goal I never saw. I was at Olympia standing room, but when the crowd stood, you couldn't see.
You know, you're talking about Regula being a tall body. It reminds me of like Dustin Bufflin. He was a defenseman, or is a defenseman, and a lot of times when he was with the Blackhawk organization, they used him on the power play up front.
Well, certainly, and you know, Britt Burns is obviously a perfect example of that too.
Here's a shot from the right side by Sider, and Sider rather. He goes down after getting hit. And
he's down. Yeah,
I'm going to try to get a replay here and take a look at what happened here. But he took the shot, and I think he got hit as he was in a shooting motion.
I think he's just kind of got stunned a little bit. I don't think it's. I think it was his head, not a body part. I know that sounds bad, but
just the most important.
Yeah, really.
Things happen so fast here. It looked like he took the shot, and in his follow-through, either he got hit or bumped or something.
Because he seemed to be, for a second there, a little bit dazed and confused.
Hopefully he's just a little shaken up.
Yeah, really, definitely. I mean, last year everyone was holding their breath when Zadina went down. Yeah. And, this year, most cited, you don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, the Wings shoot it towards the front of the goal, and Gravel hanging on to it. So the Red Wings are getting some shots here in the second period. They trail, though, 4-1. All the scoring coming in the opening period. In case you're just tuning in, Kuffner opened the scoring for Detroit, and the Hawks answered back with 4 unanswered goals.
And 3 of them in a span of a few minutes.
From the draw, here's Dastu, the Red Wing defenseman. Steering it across to Gustav Lindstrom. He is tackled along the far boards by Coughlin. Puck is down low into the corner, back to the line. Here's Yetman with a rising wrist shot, and Gravel with the save. Actually blocked it with his chest protector. The puck is down low into the corner in the Blackhawk end. Yetman out there with Soderblom of Detroit. Gustav Lindstrom calling for a pass, and now it's worked up the boards. Coughlin didn't clear it out. Yetman trying to jam it loose, and now it's scooped up by the Hawks. Sam Moberg has it for Chicago, swings it up the right wing boards, and down the ice it goes. Right side, a quick shot taken right there by Purbo, and the save made by Caden Fulcher. Back comes Casey with the feed down the left wing. Twisting and turning over the Blackhawk line. Dumped it down low. Detroit making a change. Smith is out there with Kuffner and McLeod. Here come the Hawks. Tepley over the line. Passed right out in front of the Detroit goal. Right to Fulcher, and he will hang on to it. Tepley had a pretty good first period of play. He was in that Red Wing zone quite a bit. Hard worker along the boards.
Yeah, one thing you have to say, the Blackhawks have been rather tenacious. They once they found their skates or found their legs, they have been pretty formidable.
Definitely played in the Czech League last year, 28 games, 10 points, 8 penalty minutes. 4-1 Blackhawks with the lead. The puck is down in behind the Blackhawk goal. Oh, and a big body check right there by McLeod of the Red Wings on the defenseman, Adam Boquist.
Right, and Gilbert was right there. They're wearing the C for the Blackhawks. He wanted to take McLeod on a little bit, it looked like.
Berglund for Detroit, going after the puck in the corner. Bounced his man in along the boards. That's Philip Kurashev. Boquist with a body check. Things get a little physical as Boquist got the body check in Kupner as the Hawks come back with it. Hagel with a feed over the line. Kurashev cuts in with a shot. Fulcher the save, and he will hang on to it. Good shot right there by Philip Kurashev.
Definitely. Fast developing play.
Yeah, Kurashev, he also had a pretty good first period of play. Played in the Quebec League last year, 65 points. Not a very big player, 5'11", about 195 pounds.
But solid. I long for those days when I was 5'11", 195.
I think I got to go back to 6th grade.
Yeah, really. You and me both. We just
was a thick boy there, you know.
Husky for this lad.
All right, so here we are, almost halfway through the game, and overall impressions. What do you think, Daniela?
I have to say that the second period for the Red Wings looks a lot better than what they were playing there at the, mid to end of the first period. So they definitely came out with a little bit more of an edge, and I kind of like the physicality that's showing in the second period.
Well, I think they've responded well. I mean, they haven't put any goals in the net, but really not a bad first or second period, but.
We've seen some opportunities.
Yeah, but they have to get better.
Yeah, they have to come more.
You know what really has to happen, and I'm not trying to call anybody out. Obviously, this is the first game of the year, but Veleno, Hirose, Zadina have to make some things happen right now.
Yeah, in a tournament like this, those are the guys that you really want to step forward, right?
Right.
That's what we've been talking about.
You want to notice them on the ice.
And Giovanni Smith, too. I mean, Giovanni's been all over the ice tonight, but, I'm sure that he'd like to have a little more some results from his labors.
As we've been saying, though, no discredit to the Blackhawks. They have been playing very excellent tonight.
Yeah, they really have come on, and they're hockey players, too, and I think sometimes we have a tendency to forget that.
4-1 lead for Chicago. Seider didn't hold in. Good to see him out there after getting shaken up in his last shift, but he played the puck over the blue line. It's offside. Yeah,
I think it was somewhere around the mouth or face or something, because he did look stunned. He looked kind of almost out on his feet is the old expression, but he was able to regroup. Probably some of those smelling salts on the on the bench there got him going.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, here's the Red Wings top line out there. It's,
I'm serious.
Veleno, Zadina, and Hirose. Let's see what they can do here as the puck is shot on goal, and Gravel made the save. Rebound into the corner, steered up the wing by Kirby Dach. Now the Red Wings, Veleno has it, works his way into the corner. All over him is Jack Ramsey, the Blackhawk defenseman. Dach, who has a goal along the right wing. He'll shoot it in behind the Red Wing net from center ice. 12.5 to go, second period. 4-1 Chicago. Hirose out at center ice. Flips that puck over the Blackhawk line. Moberg after it for Chicago, and the play whistled down. And we got a penalty called on the play. Well, referee making his way out towards the center ice area, and he'll announce the penalty. Looks like roughing is the call.
Yeah.
And the Red Wings go on the power play here as the Blackhawks have been penalized.
I think this is a chance that they need to capitalize on here.
This is the big point in the hockey game right now.
Seider, he's playing a point with Philip Zadina. Hirose, Veleno, and Giovanni Smith out there for Detroit on the power play. Kupner had a power play goal in the first period. The Red Wings really dominated with a man advantage. Let's see what they can do right here. Seider to Zadina, right circle, doesn't shoot, hands it back to the blue lines. Mo Seider, wrist shot, knocked down in front of the goal, bouncing puck Veleno. Now to Hirose, backhand feed to Sider, right circle.
Oh,
standing on the shot, Zadina, and another penalty coming up to Chicago. And Art, you mentioned a big point of the hockey game, 2-man advantage for 1 minute and 31 seconds coming up for Detroit.
You know, that setup there looked a little like Zadina's first goal that he scored in Colorado.
Zadina looking at his skates, he thinks maybe...
Tripping is the call, so a 2-man advantage for Detroit right here.
And they're leaving out the first unit.
Hawks win the face-off, and it's shot all the way down the ice by Dennis Gilbert, the Blackhawk defenseman. All right, let's see what the Red Wings can do here as Mo Sider hands it ahead to Hirose up the right side over the Blackhawk line. Johnson in pursuit. Zadina, right circle. Doesn't shoot. Red Wings settle it down. Sider to Hirose, left circle down low, Veleno. Fumbled the puck a little bit, regains composure, got it to Hirose. Now to Sider, down low to Zadina, right circle. Zadina changes places with Sider. Zadina drops it back, Hirose, now to Mo Sider again. Sider feet across to Joe Veleno, a one-time effort, and Gravel the save, and he will hang on to it.
Nice play there by the Red Wings, but a great save by Gravel, too.
Good setup, too, to Joe Veleno.
You know, I think that I saw him play in the summer showcase that was in Plymouth in late July, early August, in Gravel that is, and he's played pretty well.
Well, the Red Wings have fired 20 shots at him in the game. Red Wings change up their power play. Lucas Savages is out there with the Peach Pearson.
Pearson.
Kuffner. Dastu is on the right point, and McLeod is on the left. Hawks pick up the face-off, though, and they rifle it all the way down the ice, and the Red Wings have to regroup. 40 seconds to go in their 2-man advantage. Wings trying to get back into this one. They trail 4-1. Dastu up across the blue line, pulls up right circle, drops it back. Kuffner to Dastu. Wrist shot, trying to go upstairs. Gravel the save with traffic in front. He will hang on to it. Gives up no rebound. That's key right there, Daniela and Art, just not giving up rebounds, especially on the power play. Gravel, he's a big goaltender, Art.
Right.
6'2", 230 pounds, and like Mo Sider, he's from Germany, Berlin, Germany.
He played, he's been pretty impressive in net. He's
Little scrum in the corner now as the Red Wings have 10 seconds to go in their 2-man advantage. Hawks steer it down the ice.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like unless something happens, they're definitely going to squander the 2-man, but they'll still have about a half a minute left in the 1-man advantage. 5-on-4.
McKay out of the box, charges into the Chicago zone. Red Wings settle it down. Here's Kuffner to Dastu. Over to the left face-off circle. McLeod to Dastu with a drive, and that's blocked by McKay, and he is hobbling. Boy, he felt that one. Wings hold it in. Dastu, right circle, Kuffner in front. A shot by Lucas Savages. He scores! Just when there's 8 seconds to go. That's a power play goal. Lucas Savages puts the Red Wings into a position where they're only down by 2 now.
Right, and that was big. That was big for the Red Wings to get something out of that 2-man advantage. They didn't score with the 2-man advantage, but you get something to get back in this game 4-2. And don't forget, very controversial goal that was called back there at the end of the first period by Detroit. There would have been 4-3. So the Red Wings have responded rather nicely, but I still think they've got to be a little bit disappointed that they weren't able to capitalize 5-on-3 for almost a full 2 minutes.
I didn't quite see that setup. Was it Ryan Kuffner on the assist?
I believe it was.
Yeah, it was. It was Kuffner.
Well, look at that. He's involved in his second goal of the night. 2 points.
Right. Well,
Lucas Savages played for Denver, 40 games, 29 points, and he's from Squamish, British Columbia.
Well, and obviously Denver, a great program. Red Wing goaltending prospect Phillip Larsson was a Denver Pioneer last year.
Really wanted to see him in this tournament, but he's injured as the puck is shot out in front of the goal. Save made by Gravel as Yetman tried to connect.
Yeah, that was disappointing because he was on the original roster, or everyone just assumed he was going to be here. And that's the one thing that is a bit alarming when Phillip Larsson's case is that he has been nursing injury the last couple of seasons. They thought they had that under control when he had groin surgery last year. But unfortunately, the injury bug has played the young man again.
Art and Daniela, the Red Wings are coming on now after that power play goal. Seider with a shot, saved by Gravel. Soderblom fights off a check to get possession, fired the shot wide of the goal. So the Red Wings are bottling up the Blackhawks at this moment in their own end.
Seider calling for the puck. He wants it.
On the far boards, Tim Soderlund at center ice. Fends off a check to play it out to the Red Wing line. Here's Pearson down the left wing boards into the Chicago zone. Cuts wide. Got a weak shot away, but it was wide of the target. Turning with it, right side. Loggins moving in. His stick was lifted at the last second. Lucas Savages picks it up, tried to go upstairs with a wrist shot wide of the goal. Another chance by Lucas Savages. He's got it again, turns and fires, and that one off the stick of Loggins into the corner, retrieving it quickly for Detroit. Now the play is at the Blackhawk line and cleared out to center ice by Soderlund. Zadina is on the ice. Seider's got it up across the line, feed pass, and it was just off the leg as Hirose was cutting out in front of the goal, trying to get the pass.
I'm not sure if official...
Valeno steals, moves in, out in front, he scores!
There we go.
Valeno stole the puck, moved in, scores the goal to make it a one-goal game. It's Chicago 4 and the Red Wings 3.
Well, we talked about it. That needed to happen. Joe Valeno, Philip Zadina, Taro Hirose, those are the guys right now. They got to get the Red Wings back in the hockey game, and Joe Valeno made something out of nothing and put the Red Wings to within one.
It's like a New York pickpocketer right there as he stole the puck and then finishes on the play. Even strength goal. 12:20 the time of the goal. It's 4-3 Blackhawks.
Art, I think he heard you. You said you didn't want to call anyone out, but you called him out. He might have heard you.
Well,
Zadina in front, turns, fires, tried to go upstairs, and Gravel made the save. Actually, two chances by Zadina there. The first shot he redirected, and the second one he tried to go upstairs.
Well, that's good. I mean, Zadina too. I mean, these are the guys that are going to have to do it, and they're coming on a little bit, which I'm sure has to make the Red Wings feel good.
The Wings have poured it on. They poured it on in the first 4 minutes of the hockey game. Then the Hawks scored 4 unanswered goals, but now the Red Wings got 2 of their own, Lucas Savages and Valeno, and it's a one-goal game.
Well, that 5-on-3, they started to get back to their game, and they didn't score 5-on-3, but they scored on the ensuing 5-on-4, and then Valeno steals the puck, and suddenly, we have a one-goal game.
Iranian with a chance to score, and he shot it on goal. Fulcher the save, and now we got a whistle. Somebody was belted right down below us. Could not see it, Art, but we've got a whistle.
It's Joe Valeno and Chris were going at it a little bit, and I'm not sure. We couldn't see it on our angle either, but Chris was down, and Joe was hovering over him.
Again, you're watching the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament presented by our good friends over at Huntington Bank. It's 4-3 Chicago, 7 minutes to go here in the second period.
I like the Valeno showing a little bit of a toot, a little bit of an edge to his game. And him off the ice, he's about as nice a guy as you're going to meet. And but once they start playing for keeps, Ken, so Valeno showing a little bit of an edge to his game, and that's good to see too. Great move there to pull the Red Wings to within one on that goal.
It's another penalty against Chicago, so a great chance for the Red Wings here to tie it up. Coughlin, though, shorthanded. Up across the line, onside, makes his way in with a shot low to the ice, Fulcher the save.
Yeah, you don't want a guy to skate right in through your entire team there.
This is Lucas Savages. He had a pretty good shift his last time out, scored a goal and had a couple of chances. Getting some power play time. Kuffner, he opened the scoring in the game, moved it in behind the Blackhawk goal. Kuffner dug it loose, and Dastu just couldn't hustle over to hold it in. The Red Wings have to regroup in their own zone. This big power play, and you mentioned the 5-on-3. That was a big point of the game. It sure was. Kuffner over the line, through traffic, throws it back in the line to Dastu. Quick feed to Hirose at the left point, holding it in with his glove. Now to Dastu, right circle feed. Kuffner swings it down low. After it, Pearson. Pearson twisting and turning to Dastu at the blue line. Out of Hirose, left circle. Hirose pulls it back. Swings it over, right circle. Shot right side by Pearson. Save made by Gravel, and he will hang on to it off to the side of the goal.
Ken, we saw Ryan Kuffner play those 10 games, and he didn't get the ice time, nor was he playing on power play or like Taro Hirose did. I'm not taking anything away from Hirose because he had a wonderful 10-game stretch for the Red Wings, but Kuffner, and I don't know if it goes back to development camp where he scored that goal or not, but he looks like a little bit of a different player here, and you can see why he led the Princeton Tigers as their all-time leading goal scorer and second overall in total points.
Yeah, he's got an unbelievable shot, a quick wrister. He gets it away in a hurry, and he's pretty accurate with that shot as well. 53 seconds to go on the Red Wing man advantage.
And an economics major. I can't even spell economics.
Zadina moves in, right circle shot, and Gravel to save. You know, Art and Daniela, we were talking in the development camp about Zadina and how he's got to learn to get into the open areas of the ice because he's got a great shot, but in the National Hockey League, the door closes in a hurry. But he's got a great shot, and if he can get open to get that shot away, he'll be deadly.
And that's the key. As you know, time and space, time and space. You've got to make your own space because you don't have much time. Once you do, you've got to get that shot off, and Zadina's still learning that.
38 seconds
You
to
can
go.
tell, though, he wants to shoot. He's ready to shoot every time.
Here he is, toe dragging the puck, trying to go upstairs with a shot. Never got through. Again, he tried to make something happen. Zadina, Hawks pick it up, and Kurashev, penalty-killing roll, fires it down the ice. 20 seconds left in the Red Wing man advantage. 1-goal game, Chicago leading 4-3. Zadina over the Blackhawk line, bumped off the puck. Now it's stick down the ice. Here's McKay racing after it, going in short-handed, trying to move out in front and coming back hard for Detroit to try and bottle him up. Taro Hirose. Here's Zadina back the other way behind the goal. Veleno, who scored the last goal, scooping it up. Penalty is over. Blackhawks are at full strength. Joe Veleno into the high slot, stick handles, fire the shot, it's blocked off the skate of Gilbert. And shoot it deeper into the Chicago zone. Gilbert hustles after it to lay it out the center. Mo Sider has it for Detroit. Out of Joe Veleno. Veleno takes it deeper into his own end. Almost gave it away to McLaughlin there. Spins away from him, hands it out to center ice. Good feed. Up over the line, Casey dropped it back. Now the Hawks steal, settle it down in their own end, and Dennis Gilbert tapping it out to center. Gustav Lindstrom with a body check on his man, Harkaranian, as the Red Wings shoot it in. Entwistle, he's got a goal for the Hawks, kicked it forward along the wing, and now it's fired back into the Detroit zone by McLaughlin. Gustav Lindstrom. Feed pass across, Casey to Soderblom. Now here is Hagel making his way in, wraparound try, and it came out in front of the goal. For Detroit, that is Elmer Soderblom.
And Elmer is a big young man.
6'7" to be exact, Art.
6'7", and still growing into that body. Again, on his Swedish team said that he could play in this tournament, but he is definitely slated to go back to Sweden as soon as the tournament is over.
And then Hagel with a shot, and that's blocked, makes his way into the corner. Giovanni Smith all over him. Hagel worked it around the boards, comes back to Beaudin at the right point, fired the shot. That one knocked down in front, actually hit the body of the Red Wing defender, McRae. And the Hawks threatening a little bit.
Well,
it's 4-3.
Certainly, the Red Wings look like that they had regained the momentum, but Chicago now slowly taking it back.
Kirby Doc with a sneaky backhand move after circling the net, and Fulcher the save. You're listening to the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament presented by Huntington Bank. 3:03 to go in the second period. And the Red Wings have scored twice here in the middle frame to make it a 1-goal game, 4-3 Chicago.
Really, I've been pretty impressed with this game, really. Just the pace of it, the plays that we've seen, a lot of block shots. A pretty good hockey games thus far, and a 1-goal game. But now it looks like Chicago has slowly taken the momentum back. Again, the Red Wings get it in the last 2:56 of this second period, down by 1, 4-3.
Plays offside over the blue line. You know, Chris Draper was talking about he wanted to see how the Red Wings would dig in and play in the second period. Well, they did dig in, and they played well.
They really have. I mean, Chicago hasn't scored.
Wings out shooting the Blackhawks 27-17 in the hockey game.
And I think another good sign, Kenny, you did point this out, is Mo Sider. No ill effects from going down early in the second period where everybody held their collective breath. Matter of fact, I would go on record to say I think he leads everyone in total ice time. He's been out there a lot.
He's out there again. He is a right-handed shooting defenseman, Mo Sider, picking it up now at center ice. Nice move by Coughlin. He's tripped up, and another penalty coming up. Oh, and a big hit along the far boards. That was the Red Wing player, Jared Lucas Savages, who was the recipient of that hit.
And Peach didn't like it, so Pearson gets into it now.
I don't think anybody liked that one.
Now it's a little wrestling match. Pearson trying to get at the Blackhawk player, Reese Johnson. Regula is having words with Coughlin, the Blackhawk player, out in front of the glass there, in front of the fans. So,
one thing about Chase Pearson, we've talked about it, he was a captain as a sophomore and as a junior. And Ken, you know, going back to your college hockey days calling Michigan, that when a sophomore is your captain, that says something. And, you know, Luke Glendening was only an alternate captain his sophomore year at Michigan, and then captain his junior and senior year. So Chase Pearson is a leader. That's one thing that the Red Wings do like about him. He didn't like that hit, and he went right into the action to defend his teammate.
You know, one of the youngest captains, I think, at Michigan was David Harlock. And,
wow.
And Harlock, I think he was a captain either as a freshman or even a sophomore, but he was there, wore the C a long time for Michigan.
Boy, that's a little bit of a blast from the past.
David Harlock.
Yep.
Well, the Red Wings were supposed to get the original power play here because of Coughlin's trip on Sider, but it looks to me like it's a 4-on-4 situation. 5-on-4. Red Wings have the power play. So another big moment of the hockey game, Art and Daniela.
No, this is it. And again, it's consistently, this has been Detroit's #1 power play unit that's out on the ice right now. Veleno, Hirose, Zadina,
all the guys you would expect to
Smith,
see. Really.
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
and Mo Sider.
Well, the hits have definitely picked up here in the second period.
With Sider and Zadina on the points.
Right, Red Wings having a little problem right now, getting out of their own end. Hirose fumbled the puck a little bit. He sets it up, regains his composure in behind the goal, and leaves it for Mo Sider. Sider out towards center ice for Detroit, dropping it to the trailer. Hirose brings it to the Chicago line, dropping it back to Zadina. Right circle, fire the shot, block, gets it again, centers it out in front, a chance by
Veleno.
Whoa! His second goal, this one on the power play, and the game is tied 4-4.
I don't know. Maybe we should mention Joe more often and call him out. It seems to motivate him.
Maybe Zadina, too. He's been looking.
Yeah,
the first one to take the shot at that net kind of set up the whole play.
Look, Zadina wants to score a goal.
Oh, yes, he does.
That's pretty apparent.
Yes, you can see that.
Every time he gets that puck, he's thinking shoot, shoot, shoot.
Leno scoring at 12:20, now 18:28. That's 3 power play goals for the Red Wings in the game, and it's a 4-4 tie.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a beautiful shot by Veleno, though. Really, really. He got it off quickly, picked his spot, and it was in.
So the Red Wings have fought their way back here in the middle period with 3 straight goals to tie it up 4-4. Minute and a half to go in the middle period. Red Wings taking advantage of the power play, and that's an area where the big club, they want to get better in the power play.
Right, power play and penalty kill. Special league teams have not been a hallmark of Red Wing hockey as of late.
You know, that was one thing that was said about Mo Sider before we drafted him, that he could run a power play. Do you guys have any thoughts on how he's been in that tonight?
I like his aggressiveness. I just think he's aggressive all over the ice. Certainly he's fearless, and that's good to see. You could tell, I think, why he excelled and didn't look out of place in a men's league in Germany, for being a teenager.
He's got a lot of composure, a lot of poise back there.
Exactly,
on the
exactly.
All right, minute 11 to go, second period. Red Wings have outshot the Hawks 28-17. Lucas Savages and Veleno. Veleno with 2 goals here in the second period to tie it up 4-4. Kuffner scored in the first. Now we got McRae out there with Casey, Berglund, Yetman. And the other Red Wing forward is Elmer Soderblom.
Big Elmer Soderblom.
Gilbert holds it in left point. Squeeze that puck around the boards. Going after it. Berglund near side. Boquist holds it in. Shoots it into the corner. Hagel with it. Hagel brings it to the line. Drops it back. Shot into the corner. Here is Kirby Doc. Doc with a goal in the game. A pretty goal in the first period. Backhands his way to the right circle. Drops it to Boquist. Down low into the corner to Hagel. Turns away from a check. Berglund with a check on him. He's tag teaming, stealing the puck. Soderblom, and he's hit along the boards by McKay. Berglund after it, along with Hagel, helping out Soderblom again.
You know, Doc is a big, big kid. You can just see that he, once he fills out, he is just going to be a load.
Things have fought their way back to tie this game up 4-4. 13 seconds to go in the period. Wrist shot on goal, and Fulcher the save, and it deflected into the netting.
Good to see Caden Fulcher kind of rebound in this period. I think he had a tough go in the first. A couple of those goals really weren't his fault, but if you talk to a goalie, they'd like to have every goal back.
I believe both teams had, 10 shots or 12 shots in that first period, so he hasn't really been tested that much, but really, you're right, Art, when he has been tested, he has stopped the puck from going in for Detroit.
Right, and I mean, that's really all, and he had to. I mean, he had given up 4 in the first, and you can't give up too many more if you're going to give your team a chance to win.
Here's Loggins trying to break through defenders with a backhand shot at the buzzer, and Gravel the save, but the crowd enjoys what they see from the Red Wings. They score 3 times in the second period, and it's 4-4 after 40 minutes of play.
Great second period there for the Red Wings. We are going to throw to a quick break. This stream presented by Huntington Bank will be right back. We're going to throw. Welcome back to the NHL Prospects Tournament stream presented by Huntington Bank. Guys, we've got Carly Johnston down. She's got Joe Valeno after an awesome second period. Carly, take it away.
Thanks, Danielle. That's right. I'm here with Joe Valeno, who just had a 2-goal period, tied things up at the end. How are you feeling?
It feels pretty good. I mean, to come back with 3 goals in one period is pretty special. And, the guys were working hard, and we wanted it pretty bad going through the second period, and we came back, tying the game.
All right, it seemed like you guys came out with a little bit of a fire inside of you. Did Coach say something to you in the locker room during the first intermission, or what happened there?
Yeah, I think going through this game, we had a lot of nerves. Guys, I think were a little too excited, but at the same time, a little nervous. And, we got the first period out of the way. We did some good things, did some not so good things, but, we came out in this period, regrouped as a team, and, came out, with a big jump.
Absolutely, and what is it like playing on a line with Hiroshi and Zadina?
Yeah, I mean, they're 2 unbelievable players. They see the game so well, and, both able to make plays at high speed, and, it's obviously a real treat to play with them. And, I just marry the opportunities and, try to be at the right place at the right time when they have the puck.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you. It's awesome seeing you out there. We're going to be right back after this break for more coverage on the 2019 NHL Prospects Tournament stream presented by Huntington Bank.
I'll tell you, their captain, that Gilbert.
Welcome back to the 2019 NHL Prospect Tournament stream presented by Huntington Bank. We're getting ready for the third period here after the Red Wings had a great second period.
Well, they certainly did, and as you saw in Carly's interview with Joe Veleno at the end of the second period, where he scored 2 goals to tie the score up at 4-4, that the Red Wings knew. He said they were a little nervous to start the hockey game. They sure didn't start the hockey game nervous, but I guess the nerves kind of caught up with them in the first period. They were behind 4-1. They tie it up 4-4 now heading into the third, and he said that we wanted to play better, and they did respond. The Red Wings did respond, so you have to feel good.
And we talked about the big guys need to step it up, right? And
right.
So you had Zadina playing well, Veleno with a couple of goals, and Mo Seider in there too in the mix. So the big guys really stepped it up, and as a result, we got a 4-4 tie going into this third period.
And Mo Seider working the officials there before the puck being dropped, talking to him, laughing around, joking, saying, hey, look, remember me out on the ice.
All right, third period underway as Regula holds it in, backhands that puck to the side of the goal. Boquist backhanded it to the side of his own net. Gilbert calmly scoops it up, laid it up the right side, not out, Wings hold it in. Gilbert intercepted it, lays it out to Doc, and he'll tap that puck moving in. Hagel moving in with a shot, and that one is speared right across the goal mouth, and Doc tried to one-time it home.
He was wide open, too.
Wings come back over the line, and Destu just couldn't get there into the play fast enough as Adina worked it to the blue line. The play is offside.
Chicago very close to taking a 1-goal lead here early in this third period. I mean, Doc was wide open. He gets any part of that puck, it's in the net.
Hagel with a nice feed across the goal mouth right to Kirby Doc. Kupner out there, he's got a goal. He scored the first goal of the game, and McLeod Smith for Detroit.
Kupner also an assist tonight, so unofficially we have him with 2 points at least in this hockey game.
Chris laid that puck around the boards. Eluding a check was the player Soderlund. Tapping it into the Red Wing zone, and the Wings to settle it down there. It's lifted ahead. Out to center ice. Kupner tied up with his man. Kupner dug it loose, got it to McLeod over the blue line. Tried to get away from Soderlund, and he stopped him at the last second. Puck is picked up and lifted by Tepley into the Detroit end. 18:32 to play in the third period. Game is tied 4-4. Wings fail to clear it out. Kurashev along the right wing board, skates into the corner. Now jammed it in behind the Red Wing goal as he goes after it with McLeod. The puck squirts free, and the Wings dig it loose. Send it out to center. Bodan with it, tapping it up across the Red Wing line. Soderlund, right circle, makes his way in on a backhand, pulls away from a check. Turns and whistles it down low, and the Red Wings will intercept Regula. Up the right side, out to center ice. Logan's trying to tie up his man. Regula going after the defender. Worked it up the near wing. It came out to center in front of the bench, out to the blue line again. Entwistle tapping it across. Hakkarainen moves into the corner, swings it back. A slap shot. Fulcher the save as the shot was taken from long range by Cole Moberg, the Blackhawk defenseman.
You know, the start of the second period, we wanted to see how the Red Wings responded, and they came out and they played well. They tied the score up 4-4. I have to say, very early on, Chicago seems to be the team that maybe had a little bit of a talking to in between that second and third period, because they look a little bit different entering this third period as far as momentum and trying to carry the play.
Well, they got it again, Art, in that Detroit end. McLaughlin dropping it back to Entwistle to the right wing boards. Moberg with a shot, knocked down. It scoots in behind the Detroit goal. Now the Wings come away with it. That's Pearson. Tapping it out to center ice. Works his way over the Blackhawk line. Tried to go upstairs with a shot, and he whistled it over the crossbar. Out to center again, Regula. Fires it off the glass into the Blackhawk zone. 17:08 to go. Third period action here at the Prospects Tournament. Traverse City. It's 4-4. Seider, quick feed to Regula. Shot blocked out in front. Comes back to Seider at the right point. Seider's shot off of Hakkarainen along the boards. Regula had it tapped out away from him, out to center ice by McLaughlin. Seider is bumped, and the Hawks control.
I like Mo Seider's game. It's just like forward, forward, forward. He is relentless out there.
Got slowed up a little bit in the opening period. Came back, though, after maybe the wind knocked out of him or a hit to the face as the puck comes out to center ice, and per boot.
He probably won't tell us what was wrong with him.
Yetman tapping it over the Blackhawk blue line. Gilbert. Now to Boquist up the right side, out the center, splits defenders into the Red Wings zone, and then he got clipped with a high stick, and the Red Wings will be guilty of a high sticking call right here.
Gustav Lindstrom in the middle of that. Blackhawks taking exception to.
Well, the Red Wings have been taking advantage of their power play opportunities as they have scored 3 of their 4 goals with a man advantage. So let's see what the Blackhawks can do right now in this 4-4 tie, and they've got the power play. Kirby Dach is out there, Art, on this power play. No big surprise right there.
No, definitely no big surprise.
All right, big moment of the hockey game early in the third. Hawks on the power play. Lindstrom, the guilty party, as he is looking down the penalty box. Quick feed out in front, broken up by the Wings defense. And now it's out to center ice, and Boquist will settle it down inside his own end. Giovanni Smith, penalty killing roll. Looking at him. Kirby Dach quickly out to center ice. Over the blue line, flipped it across. Boquist to Entwistle. Back to the line it comes to Hagel. Right circle, Boquist. Boquist to the right point. Bowing into the circle. Now Hagel, left circle to Dach. Tried to center it out in front. It's loose. Oh, a chance there. Oh, a chance by Beaudin, who was in close and did not score, and the Red Wings clear it down the ice. That was close.
That was real close. Chicago's come close a couple of times in this period to move ahead, but they have not.
Sider giving Kirby Dach a rough ride with a check-in along that near circle. 50 seconds to go. Man advantage for Chicago, 4-4 tie.
Mo Sider, I don't know if this goes back or what. We're going to have to talk to him. He has not been all over Kirby Dach in this game.
Yeah. Now Wings short-handed, making his way in. Loggins got that puck wide of the goal. Now battling for possession in the corner. And here comes Kurashev out to center ice. Slows it down for the Hawks. Pulls up at the blue line. They're offside. Now they tag up as Kurashev banked it off the boards. McRae steals, didn't clear it out. Soderlund making his way down low behind the goal. Now it's moved into the corner. Puck is picked up. Played around the near boards by the Red Wing defender, Alec McRae. From the line, Moberg with a shot wide of the goal. Penalty is over. Red Wings have killed off the power play. Hawks still have it in the Red Wing end. Here's a feed out in front. Yetman steals. Now on the break, here is a quick feed. Pearson making his way in on a breakaway. Oh! Saved by Gravel as he robbed Pearson of a goal.
Smooth move there by Peach, but did not score.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to that one, Art.
I don't know. I'm still trying to picture the one, the toast one that you did earlier today. The
toast.
Yeah, that you said that smoother.
Oh, coast to coast like buttered toast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, is that? Have you used that much? I've never heard that one before, kid.
You trying out some new phrases for the season?
Why not?
Hey, I like it. Fans, you listening out there, vote. Yay or nay on that one.
We're going to expect a new one tomorrow, and we'll pick the best one for you, okay?
Guys.
Really? I like it. Coast to coast.
Coast to coast like buttered toast.
Yep. I'm trying to picture that analogy. Coast to coast, buttered
Don't
toast.
think about it too
It
hard,
just
Art.
rhymes, that's all.
Yeah.
Well, neither team has
Well,
scored
no,
a goal.
but buttered toast would be like a full bread would be coast to coast, right? Or you look at toast as a country or whatever.
All right, you're making me hungry here. Well, the Red Wings killed off a power play, and that was a big power play for the Hawks. So let's see what the Red Wings can do here. There's 13:52 to play in the third period. Wings came back. They trailed 4-1 after the first period, and now we got a glove pass, and so the play whistled down. Wings had 3 goals in that second period, 2 by Valeno, the other by Lucas Savages to tie it up.
Real quick, while we've got a stoppage in play, I want to give a shout out to our production team this week and next week too. You know, not working with too much over here. It's not like Little Caesars Arena, so it's awesome that we're able to put this on for everybody at home.
Yes, and they have made improvements to the center ice arena, but certainly our guys have really worked their tails off.
Yeah, to make this next level for everyone watching at home.
You know, talk about coast to coast like buttered toast. Those guys have been all over it.
Taro Hirose out there for Detroit. Pearson and Zadina.
Well, this is the time for the Red Wings now to take control back of this hockey game. They've pulled the storm. Chicago came out hard, had a couple of power play opportunities. Now the Red Wings have to turn this momentum around.
Well, Veleno is not on this line right now, and the play is whistled down, and a penalty has been called. It's like holding is the call to Mo Sider.
And Mo, as I told you, he was working the officials, and obviously he didn't lobby him hard enough.
Well, another big moment of the hockey game, Art.
Yeah,
with the Hawks on the power play.
Well, certainly. I mean, the Red Wings, have to keep, the old adage, shooting themselves in the foot, and you can't keep going to the box and expect to hold Chicago off the scoreboard forever.
Lindstrom, Pearson, McRae, and Giovanni Smith, the penalty killers for Detroit. Hagel dropping it back. Boquist makes his way in on Gustav Lindstrom. Swings the puck around the boards to Beaudin at the point. Slides it across. Boquist pass over to Beaudin off the stick of Gustav, or make that Giovanni Smith, and Smith clears that puck down the ice.
As he progressed last year in Grand Rapids, Giovanni Smith, he started to see more and more time on the special teams as a vote of confidence, and it's good to see him out there, especially in a penalty killing role.
Being tied 4-4, 12.5 to play. Third period, Red Wings again clear the zone. Pearson doing the job as Gravel sets it up. The goaltender behind his own net, squeezed it up the boards, and here comes Kirby Doc. Doc out the center, now to Hagel, up across the line. Hagel moved it to the blue line. Beaudin holds it in barely. Boquist moves away from Lucas Savages to Beaudin. Feed pass in front of the Red Wing goal, cleared away now here. Down the left wing boards, the Wings come back with it. That is Soderblom, and he'll shoot that puck in as the Blackhawks now prepare the breakout with 50 seconds to go in their man advantage. 11:55 to play in the third period, game tied 4-4. Watching the Detroit Red Wings Prospect Tournament presented by Huntington Bank. The Red Wings unable to give the Blackhawks a little bit of a lane, and now they'll try again as Chris brings it out to center. Feed past Kurashev, makes his way in left circle. Circles in behind the goal, hands it back, comes to the line to Chris. Chris moves down low into the corner. Now McLaughlin centers it out in front of the goal. Moberg makes his way down low, shoots it down into the corner, gets the return feed. Swings it right face off circle. Chris tried to slide it across. On the doorstep there was Philip Kurashev, but he couldn't get a stick on the puck. Back in the line, Moberg up wide of the goal. Rebound cleared away by the Red Wings. Sider is back on. Red Wings are at full strength. So that's back-to-back penalties that the Red Wings have killed here in the third period. Out to center ice, it's Lucas Savages dumping it in.
Pretty solid penalty kills. Gave up a few opportunities, but overall very good.
And after a little bit of a shaky start, Fulcher has been solid in goal for the Red Wings.
He really has, and that's good to see because I'm sure he wasn't feeling good after that first period.
Out at center ice, Ramsey dumps it over the Red Wing line. It's cleared out the center, and the Wings
There we
come
go.
back. Here's Kupner dropping it back to the trailer. Zadina with a shot, and he fired it over the crossbar, hard off the glass. I don't mind him shooting there. That's what he gets paid to do.
Right.
And that was a pretty good shot, but he just was a little bit off target. And Kupner with a nice feed to him. Zadina trying again, works his way over the blue line, has an opening, shoots the puck, and the save made by Gravel. He shot it right at the goalie.
Right, he did shoot it right at the goalie, but you can see what he has. You can see his toolkit, so to speak, and it's impressive. He has a full array of shots. He just has to
Bury one.
well, obviously, yes, exactly, bury one, but find that time and find that space. He needs to perfect it a little bit, but he certainly
he created himself a little hole.
Right,
on that
he did.
play.
He
yeah,
did. And
there.
that was a good sign. That's exactly right, Daniela. That was again, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but we have to remember he's only 19.
Game tied 4-4 as the puck is deflected by the wings. Center ice, Chad Yetman in behind the Blackhawk goal. Puck steered across into the Chicago end. Regula protecting the puck, got it down low to Casey. Red Wing forward, McLaughlin steals and worked it up the boards and back down the ice.
I don't know if this is a hockey term or not, but it seems to me that most Siders have been triple shifted in this game.
He's logged a lot of ice time.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, every time I turn around, he's out there.
Got a game tomorrow against the Blues at 3:30 in the afternoon. I wonder if he'll play. Beaudin setting it up. Long lead pass, trying to catch the wings on a change. Soderblom making his way in, Soderlund rather, and he was ridden off the puck by the Wings defense.
I would say with Sunday being an off day, they're going to visit the Humane Society, the Red Wing Prospects, here in Traverse City, that he probably will play tomorrow. Unless, if this 45 minutes of ice time is correct, maybe not.
45.
Well, I hope maybe some of the Red Wings on that visit to the Humane Society come back with a puppy or a kitten.
Yes, I'm planning on adopting a couple and giving them one each to you on Monday.
I was just going to say, you're going to keep both? I knew there was a catch to that one, but I would love one, so
all right,
go for it.
All right, we're a little more than halfway through the third period, 8:46 to go, 4-4 tie. Just quickly recapping the scoring. Kuffner opened the scoring. And the Blackhawks scored 4 straight goals, actually, to take a 4-1 lead. Hakaranian, Doc, Entwistle, and Hagel. Then the Red Wings bounced back. Lucas Savages with a goal in the second period. Joe Veleno with a pair of goals. Red Wings, 3 of their 4 goals have come on the power play during the course of this game. And just for our listeners, that if this game does end in a tie in regulation, we will have overtime. And then followed by a shootout, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think that, obviously they're going to, these are real games.
Right.
I mean, this is a tournament, so. Now, I'm not sure, and I can't remember, Ken, over the last couple of years, if we have gone to a shootout, do they play by the international rules where you can have more than the same guy? Like, if TJ Oshie were out there, he'd shoot all 5 times.
No, but I think you have to play against with NHL rules, I would imagine, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. I'd like to see Veleno get out there a couple of times. And Zadina.
Well, we're still a long way from overtime. 8:40 to go, third period.
Yeah, let's not jump the gun.
Here's Veleno. 2 goals in the game. Makes his way over the Blackhawk line. Drops it back. McRae. Not a Zadina. Backhand try. Blocked out in front of the goal. Veleno steals. Not a Zadina working his way in on Gilbert in the corner. Who's going to win the battle? Helping out is Veleno as they battle hard in that far corner in the Blackhawk zone, trying to make a play. Gilbert bounced it up the wing. Now it's McRae trying to tap it forward. Didn't clear it out. Sider holds it in. Good play to keep it alive. In deep, the Blackhawks. Gilbert got it out over the Red Wing blue line. Mo Sider in pursuit. Steers it around the boards, near side into the corner. McLeod on the ice for Detroit. Watched by McKay. Sider has it. Long shift for him. Settles it down and tapped it out to center ice. Moberg got it to Sider. Doc and Sider collide along the boards. And you're right, there must be something going on between those two.
Yeah, I was going to say, what else is new?
Oh, we got Giovanni Smith now in a little pushing match right there at the Blackhawk player Liam Coughlin. And the linesmen separate those two.
I'm sure Coughlin's a pretty tough customer, but Giovanni's a guy I don't think you really want to get involved with.
But just before that, all game long, it's Doc and Sider. They've been pretty physical against one another, and that's interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll have to look further into that one.
Yeah, we will. I mean, like I said, it was early in that second period. Sider fouled him behind the Detroit net and was just punching him. But Doc did not bite on it. I mean, he kind of, pushed back, but I think Mo was ready.
Maybe he's just trying to get in his head.
Well, I think he is. I think that's a good point.
Well, that's the competitive spirit amongst hockey players.
Yes, it is.
And it's just that German way.
You would know.
Oh, yeah, trust me.
Hit along the far boards and delivering the body check for Detroit was the player Dastu has it.
Yeah, it's good to see Regula out there and playing and not looking out of place. You know, he's been nursing an injury, so.
McLeod has it for Detroit. Game tied 4-4. Quick feed across the blue line to Regula. Protects the puck, took a hit from Coughlin, worked it down low. Kupner has it for Detroit. Got it to Regula at the line. Regula pulls in, moves in with a shot, and that was a wrister over the top of the goal.
I like the idea to go high, though.
Dastu with a shot, redirected by McLeod, and that one just missed. Wings came
I have to
close
say,
to
I thought
tie it up.
went in. I thought that one went in for a second.
Right. Well, you know, I liked it. The Red Wings are starting to get the momentum here. They're starting to carry the play a little bit.
Wings are changing while that puck is in a scrum in the far corner. McCray comes out onto the ice for Detroit. Now it's dug loose. Jack Ramsey didn't clear it out. He turns the opposite way to shoot it around the boards. The only man there is Berglund for Detroit. Berglund now to Yetman. Chicago reeling a little bit in their own zone. Red Wings trying to make them pay. 8:09, make that 6:09 to go third period, a 4-4 tie. Here's a shot from a sharp angle from the right circle, taken by Elmer Soderblom, and the save made by Gravel. So Soderblom trying to get the go-ahead marker in this hockey game, going down to the wire. Now it's 6:02 to go.
Yeah, I think you could look at this game from each team's perspective and say it's a little bit of a mixed bag, and most first games are. But I think the Red Wings have to be encouraged by the way this team has been resilient.
Tightly contested game as a shot into the corner. Here's Beaudin holding it in. Akaranian centered it out in front, right on a Red Wing stick, and back the other way comes Detroit. Soderblom over the line, making a beeline towards the side of the goal, and Chris tied him up, wrote him off the puck. Sider with a shot from the left side, wide of the goal. Puck ends up along the boards into the corner. Chris to pick it up, move it around the wing. Entwistle out to center ice to McLaughlin. Carries into the Red Wing zone, right wing boards. Sider with a poke check. Akarinen lays it into the corner. Now it's gloved around the boards, and the play is whistled down on that glove pass from one Chicago player to another. 5:14 to go in the third period, a 4-4 tie.
That's what the Red Wings can do here. They're coming out with their big guns. Hirose, Veleno, Zadina.
For the Blackhawks, they've got Tepley out there, along with Kurashev. Soderlund as well for the Hawks. Wings tap it out to center, and it's chipped. Boquist to the Red Wing line. Zadina turns deeper into the Red Wing zone. Outlets it up the left wing board. Now Veleno, 2 goals in the game, into the corner. Here's Zadina getting the feed, short side. He just missed. Just missed the short corner of the goal.
Yeah, I'm going to call. I think Zadina gets the game winner, assist by Veleno, with Taro Hirose just cheering his team on.
I hope you're right.
We had a good angle at that. He just missed that.
He did, boy. He was, you can see it's there. As soon as he figures it out, it once it comes to him, it's not going to go away.
Hirose after the puck now. It's the Hawks picking it up, playing it out to center. Berggren quickly after it for Detroit. Thought about passing, instead takes it deeper into the zone. Wings in the middle of a change. Here is Veleno with a shot, and he had a wrister from the left circle, and that was wide.
It's a little deceiving, that shot, too.
Well, goaltender Gravel kind of flinched a little bit after Veleno shot that puck hard towards him, and it comes out to center ice. Here's Moberg for the Hawks, their defenseman. Watched by Loggins of Detroit. Steered it up the right wing. Down the ice it goes. And we haven't seen a lot of icing calls in the game. Good puck possession.
No, we really haven't. You're right, and that's pretty impressive. It's a testament to the skill level of both of these teams.
Some games you get there's more icing than on a wedding cake.
There you go.
Oh, there's another one, Ken.
More icing than a wedding cake.
Shot from the line, block, rebound, right circle.
But coast to coast like buttered toast is still my favorite.
Hagel going after the puck. Pearson trying to deflect it away. Hagel holds it in. Good play. Look out. Left circle feed down low. Moved out in front of the goal. And it was knocked away. And the Wings come back. Lucas Savage's one-on-one. Into the zone. He has no help. He'll shoot the puck. It's off a stick into the corner. 3 minutes to go, third period. Sider intercepted a pass at center. Hands it over the line to Giovanni Smith. Smith works his way behind the Chicago goal into the corner. Up the right wing boards, drops it down low. Gustav Lindstrom steers it around the opposite way. McLaughlin after the puck with Sider. Sider gambling a little bit, manages to keep it alive deep in the Blackhawk end.
He is fearless.
There's McLeod for Detroit in the high slot. Kuffner with a shot, it's blocked. Rebound, steered away by the Hawks. Out to center ice, it's off the stick of Mackenzie Entwistle out to the Red Wing line. Quick feed to Kuffner. Makes his way down into the right corner, circles the Blackhawk goal. Boquist ran him out of real estate, and the Hawks come away with it. Steered up by McLaughlin into the corner in the Red Wing zone. Dastus with 2:10 to go in regulation. Played around the boards to Kuffner. Kuffner deep into the corner, played it behind his own goal. Now the Wings break out. Joe Veleno off the bench on a change with a burst of speed over the blue line, trying to make his way in. He was tied up. Gilbert comes away with it for the Blackhawks. Watched by Zadina. Steers it up the near wall. Up over the line. That's Johnson to shoot it around the boards into the corner of the Red Wing zone. Cole Purbu is checked. Now behind the goal. The Hawks trying to make him pay. Here's a shot from the line. Redirected. And that one ends up in behind the Red Wing goal. That was Chris firing the puck from the blue line.
Dangerous play. He came off the bench, so he was kind of a forgotten man there and almost made something happen, he being Chris.
Here is Zadina. Pass over the line of Hirose. Hirose with a nifty stick handling move display. Got that puck in behind the goal. Pearson after it in the corner. Time winding down, minute 20 to go. Feed pass comes off a stick to McRae at the blue line, who holds it in. Mo Sider to Pearson in behind the goal. Chris tied him up. Johnson after it for the Blackhawks along the corner boards. Now Zadina fighting hard for possession. Puck is wheeled to the line. McRae holds it in and shoots it into the corner. Red Wings are allowed to change as they keep that puck deep in the zone. Zadina on a long shift. He's out there. Sider holds it in at the line. Now to McRae to the right face-off circle. Back to Sider. Makes his way in. Shot the puck. Here's Zadina!
Oh, that was a chance.
Oh, all he had to do was lift it
up
into the top shelf, and Gravel with a save of the game right there.
Zadina skating back to the bench, and you can tell he's not happy. That looked like it was going to be.
Well, all he had to do was just lift it a couple more inches, and he had a goal.
So close to your game-winning goal, Art. So close.
As soon as it starts to go into the net, it's going to go into bunches for him.
So we're still at a 4-4 tie with the tempo picking it up. And you got to love the work of the Red Wings, their hustle and determination to keep that puck into the Blackhawk end. All right, Wings will try again the waning seconds. Half a minute to go. Up the right side, Gustav Lindstrom check. Gamble by Loggins, and coming back nicely. Yetman to make that Dastu to take him off the puck. Hagel tried to get into the Detroit zone a little bit deeper. Lindstrom scooping it up in behind his own net, drops it back to the trailer, Mo Sider. Seems to be playing about 35 minutes in this game.
And I think he's been playing right D and left D in this game.
He's a gambler too, boy. Yeah. He made some good plays, and now we've got overtime coming up as regulation ends in a 4-4 tie.
Sider again going to Doc. I mean, this is Sider is challenging him. I mean, he was screaming at him at the end of this. I love this little intrigue on the ice here.
He's giving him the hefty bag treatment there. A lot of trash talk.
It was.
You gotta like the competitiveness, though. I love it. I think that's a good quality to have, as long as you don't take it too far. It's a good quality to have.
If you were one of these people that were wondering what the Red Wings saw in Mo Sider, I think it's pretty easy to see what they saw in him. I mean, this guy is just not backing down. He's aggressive. He's willing to take chances. He's got a great skill set, and that's what the Red Wings need. Let's be honest. As we said in the pregame show, the Red Wings need to rebuild their defense. It's no secret.
Definitely.
And maybe Mo Sider might be a good piece there.
The one thing that comes to mind about the Red Wings playing that third period was their penalty kill. And we talked about special teams, with the big club, but it starts here too with the young guys too. And to be able to be in a situation where you're either on the power play or on the penalty kill and you come up big. The Hawks had back-to-back power plays, and the penalty killers did a really good job.
They did.
They did a good job, and again, and I know we mentioned it, but Caden Fulcher has rebounded nicely after giving up 4 goals in the first period. Guess what? Chicago hasn't scored since. So even though the Red Wings have buttoned it down a little bit.
And that's got to be tough on a goaltender, giving up 4 goals in the first period like that and coming out. And, he's a big piece in letting them come back and tying that game up.
Right, and you're right, Danielle. I mean, this is his second-year pro. He's probably going to, slated to be down in for the Toledo Walleye, who came within a whisker of winning the whole ECHL last year. So, Fulcher, it's good to see him rebound nicely, too.
Doc Hagel and Boquist to start overtime. Sider for Detroit with Veleno and Hiroshi. Game tied 4-4, and Sider tripped up and manages to get that puck ahead of Hiroshi.
I'm not so sure that shouldn't have been a penalty.
Hiroshi spins away from Kirby Doc. Got it back to Mo Sider, right circle. Wings settle it down. Joe Veleno, 2 goals in the game for Detroit.
Sider wants to score on Doc.
Hagel down the left wing boards, dropping it back to Kirby Doc. Doc makes his way over the blue line, gets away from Hiroshi. Brings it back towards the blue line, shovels it right face-off circle. Boquist scores! He fired it in from the bottom of the right circle. And within the first minute, on their first shot in overtime, the Chicago Blackhawks defeat the Red Wings 5-4.
That was a great shot. That was really a good shot.
Not much you can do.
Yeah, you got to tip your cap to Boquist on that one. That was an excellent, excellent shot.
Well, just a tough way to lose a game after you came back trailing 4-1. And Boquist with the only shot for the Hawks in that overtime. It comes 33 seconds into the extra period, and Chicago wins the game 5-4.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is a good hockey game. I think the Red Wings, I know they're bitterly disappointed that they lost this game, but you have to really give it, the key was, what were they going to do in the second period when they were down 4-1, and they came back and tied it at 4-4, played a good, solid third period. As you pointed out, Ken, they killed off some penalties. The penalty kill was good. They had some chances. Zadina had a great opportunity with about 44 seconds left. All he had to do was lift the puck. He quite couldn't do that. And then, Boquist, listen, this kid was taken 8th overall in the first round in his draft year. Zadina was taken 6th. Boquist was taken 8th. And he proved why he's a top 10 draft pick, because that was just an excellent shot.
20 goals for him, Boquist, last year on his team, and he gets the game winner here tonight. And that was a beautiful shot from the bottom of the circle. I don't know how he did it, but he picked the corner. Right,
he did, and I mean, Caden Fulcher, he's probably going to tell you he should have had that one, but I don't think there's many goalies that would have had that one. That was just an excellent player making an excellent play, excellent shot, and scoring the game-winning goal.
Definite disappointment for the Wings there right at the end, but as we have said, great second period. There's definitely some positives to take away from this one. And guys, we've got a lot of tournament left. We'll be back tomorrow. Stream starts at 3 p.m. Puck drop will be at 3:30, and we've got St. Louis, prospects of the Stanley Cup champions in town, so that will always be an exciting game, right?
Right, the defending Stanley Cup champs are in town tomorrow. So
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mo Sider's going to sleep well tonight because he played a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how well he plays tomorrow.
Wonder who he's going to pick on that team to pester.
I believe Kirby Doc and Mo Sider are going to have nightmares about one another tonight too. So
they
might be a restless sleep, but a sleep nonetheless.
But overall, an entertaining game. And how about Joe Veleno too?
Yes,
he had a couple of goals and looked good.
Look, Veleno. Again, he's what DetroitRedWings.com and our Taking Flight series. It's a blog series by Red Wing prospects. Joe Veleno is one of the prospects who's been blogging for us. He is bound and determined to try to make this Red Wing team. He thought he had a good chance last year, which, you got to tip your cap. The 18-year-old thinks he has a great chance of making the NHL, and why not? But, he knows there's jobs available. There's opportunities here. Steve Yzerman has been adamant about that.
Right.
And Steve Yzerman just doesn't talk just to talk. Trust me. I talk just to talk. Steve Yzerman does not talk just to talk.
I don't think so.
And when he said, look, there's jobs here and all that, Veleno's taking that to heart, and I think he's going to have a really good camp. He's going to have a great preseason. He's going to make it very difficult on the Red Wings when they have to make a decision. Does he stay or does he go to GR?
Well, so far so good for Veleno, and as I said, guys, we will be back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Puck drop will be 3:30. Thank you so much for tuning in to the NHL Prospects Tournament stream presented by Huntington Bank and and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Goodbye.